No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. We're going all the way so you can score more for your trade-in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV today. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
It's time for the Postgame show from Bronco Nation News. We're breaking down the game with highlights, interviews, analysis, and most importantly, you. Give your thoughts on the game in the YouTube chat or Facebook comments, and we'll include the best ones on the show. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Postgame show from Bronco Nation News.
We are live after a unbelievable run for the Boise State Broncos. Tonight was a 21-7 Mountain West Conference Championship game on the blue at Albertsons Stadium. And yes, your Boise State Broncos, our Boise State Broncos, and my Boise State Broncos are headed to the inaugural expanded 12-team college football playoffs, and what a night it was. Welcome to the post-game show presented by the Blue and Orange Store. Make sure you check out your CFP swag at the Blue and Orange Store. You can get down to multiple locations, both downtown at Boise Town Square Mall. But tonight is all about celebration, and so much of Bronco Nation currently is on the field, on the blue right now, celebrating a Mountain West Conference championship. And me as an alum, me as a former player and as a former coach, I cannot remember the last time I saw the scenes that I saw on that blue field. And that is a enthusiastic, energetic, and just overwhelming sea of humanity emptying out from the south end zone, from the east stands, the north end zone, the west side, the student section, emptying out onto the blue and partaking in a celebration for the ages. This was the biggest victory in the history of Boise State football, and it happened tonight at Albertsons Field. And please join me in the comment section. I'm going to be taking comments, and for me, I could speak as a former player, more so that than as a former coach. This was one of those games that brought back so many memories, but yet made me so proud of where the program is and where the program is going to be in the next coming weeks. And that's going to be most likely as a 4, or I think even a 3 seed in the college football playoffs, which means Boise State will get an opening round bye. So by virtue of the system that college football has put in place, the highest rated, top 4 highest rated conference champions, no matter what conference it came from, Boise State appears to be putting a stranglehold on that, irregardless of what happens tomorrow in the remainder of these college football playoffs. Jump into the comment section. I want to ask all of you, if you're watching on our YouTube channel, Bronco Nation News, make sure if this is the first time that you've watched any of our content, you subscribe to Bronco Nation News. BJ Rains, who does a phenomenal job of setting this up, he will be joining us on this post-game show shortly with reactions, crowds, shots from the field, post-game interaction. And also we'll be joined by Brad Bedell and Kent Riddle here in the coming 30, 45 minutes. But really for the next 30, 45 minutes, I said it on Ball Talk on Wednesday night. I talked about the advantage of the blue. And the advantage of the blue I defined isn't the color of the field. It isn't the size of the stadium. It isn't even the way that the sound bounces around in the concrete of Albertsons Stadium. It's you, the blue. It is you. It is the fan base. It is Bronco Nation. And all I can say is if you were at Albertsons Stadium, you absolutely brought it. And if you were in your home like I was in your living room, you brought it too, because you are part of what makes this thing so special. And Boise State is going to be doing something that has never been done in the history of this program. And I'd take a step back, because certainly the ultimate measuring stick of this program up until this year was to be playing in a BCS or a New Year's Six bowl game, but never until tonight have you been invited into the elites in the postseason tournament. It was a 4-team tournament for quite some time. Before that, it was settled by the BCS. Boise State narrowly missing out on that because of another team from the state of Nevada, the team in Reno, UNR, that held the Boise State Broncos from having a chance to appear in that championship game. But that is in the far distance, in the rear view. Boise State is heading to a college football playoff. And I believe full-heartedly that this is going to be a team that can make some noise. And here's why. The story of the night tonight for this old coach was the Boise State defense. And I want to read through a couple things here statistically on this game. Team stats: 7 points given up to the Brennan Marion go-go offense. Malik Williams, who came in and did put some fear into the hearts of all Boise State fan bases, included mine. But this offense threw for 110 yards. It did rush for 217 yards. Over 3/4 of those yards came in the second half in desperation mode, down by 21. But the biggest stat of the night was the UNLV Rebels, behind a couple explosive plays, one by the running back with the piano on his back that ran out of gas on the 5-yard line. Boise State gave up a total of 0 points on 2 drives that ended up inside of Boise State's 10-yard line. And that is a big-time effort from that Boise State defense. And statistically, when you look at it, the eye test to me was the amazing secondary effort tonight. Jeremiah Irby, I spelled his name wrong on the X machine earlier, Earby. Jeremiah Irby, who's been in position all year to make plays on deep balls. He learned and applied the lessons throughout the course of the year by playing with great technique. He looked up to the football. He leaned into the receiver, call that look and lean, and he did it twice, one to the tune of an interception. Jeremiah Irby, a superstar in this defense. On Amari McCoy, again, another good performance, played the football much better down the field. And how about our guy, Ty Benefield, all over the place. Ty Benefield defensively ends up with 8 tackles in this game. Ended up with, pulling it up right here, ended up with 4 solos, 1.5 tackles for loss, and just was all over the field tonight. But my MVP of this football game, because I felt like he was so influential in containing and bottling up Malik Williams in the backfield from the pass rush standpoint, is none other than Colorado's own Shea Oladipo. Led all tacklers in this game with 10 total, 9 solo tackles. Ended up getting 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, 1 forced fumble. An incredible effort there from Shea Oladipo. A couple injuries at the end of the game that got to keep our eyes on. Obviously, didn't love to see what we saw with the Banks injury at the end of the game. It looked scary. Looked hopefully to be more of an ankle than a knee. He was able to come off the field on his own. Looked like there was Ahmed Hassaneed had blood coming off of his face. It was unbelievable. Just an incredible performance from that defensive front. On the offensive side of the ball, we can't talk enough about him. Ashton Jeanty, the final stat line is he inches toward history, towards Barry Sanders' elusive record that's been standing for several decades. 32 carries, 209 yards, a touchdown, and just overall, the way that I would define Ashton Jeanty's season and Ashton Jeanty's candidacy in the Heisman Trophy was after carrying the football 32 times for 209 yards. Ashton Jeanty, in celebration after the final kneel, pulls off the round-off back handspring backflip. That's the kind of energy that young man has. He is truly not human. I do believe that he was the recipient of what that female on the airplane that went viral, the memes went viral and said that bleep isn't human. That was Ashton Jeanty, because I don't know many running backs that I've ever been around in the game of football that could go for 32, 209. And essentially that's a normal night at the office for Ashton Jeanty. And he did it 13 times, and he's going to continue to do it in the college football playoffs. So back to what I originally said about this being about the blue and the blue being you. I want to hear your reactions. I want to hear your emotions as a fan of Boise State. And let's not get too deep into the weeds about this game. I just want to hear something about what you feel, how you experience this game, and I want to talk about it. So make sure you jump in the comments, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on X. Just please come at it right here, and we'll start right here with Cody. Very magical season between Jeanty and the team's success, and I think that's very important. Cody, is Jeanty is otherworldly, but the team was on full display tonight. It was the defense. It was the offense taking care of the football. It was Maddox Madsen with arguably his most accurate, most impressive throw of his Boise State career on the corner route to the back of the end zone. Just an absolutely phenomenal game in that moment. A great first half from Maddox Madsen. His stat line ends up 18 of 27, 158 yards and 1 touchdown. Second half, there were a couple dicey throws, but there's a superpower that Maddox Madsen has that very, very few quarterbacks do have, and that's the ability to have balls that maybe should have been intercepted, aren't intercepted. And to that, I will say, no harm, no foul. Let's go back to, I love this comment here before I jump too far around here. I got Patrick Millard, grown men crying, assuming, Patrick, that you're a male. I am a grown man as well, and I bet there are so many people that share that sentiment. As a lifelong Boise State fan, possibly an alum, maybe just a resident, somebody who just fell in love with this amazing product of Boise State football. And truly it has been an amazing product now for 30 plus years. But this here is the biggest moment in the history of this program. Gina Terrell from Facebook, the real deal. This team is the real deal. Ashton Jeanty's the real deal. This defense has proven to be the real deal and has now beaten 3 currently ranked top 25 teams, twice against UNLV, once against Washington State, en route to a 12-1 regular season. Keep those comments coming. Can't forget about this. Don't forget the rushing touchdown. Notorious FIG coming to us from YouTube. I'm crying right now. For almost 2 decades, I've waited for something like this. Why not us? Why not give us a shot at the big boys? I'm so happy for this 12-team playoff. Now we get a shot, and that is it. You get a real shot. And I will continue to say this even as the college football conference tournament or conference championship games continue tomorrow. There is an absence of a truly dominant football team. Boise State has seen already on the road, not in a neutral site, not at home. They have seen the most dominant team and the best roster compilation in terms of how they went about the portal, the NIL piggy bank that is up there in Eugene, Oregon, and you went toe-to-toe. Ashton Jeanty now is starting, at least to me, he's starting to look like that Oregon edition of Ashton Jeanty in terms of his pop, his breakaway speed, the way he's coming off, even when he gets tackled, he's jumping right up. I didn't see that as much in week 8, 9, and 10, especially after that elbow injury. And what a night to look fresh and also to get some time off to be able to get full rest and recovery ahead of what will be the second round of the college football playoffs. Keep those comments coming. I want to get to as many of them as I can. Right here from Amon Rowe, great win. I mean, how do you do it without scoring a single point in the second half? Boy, are you right about that. Yeah, that second half was weird. It gave me the heebie-jeebies as a former coach. I don't think Boise State took, offensively or schematically, and Dirk Cutter took the foot off the gas pedal. UNLV is a good football team, and UNLV had some interesting offensive game planning just from what I could see in that first half. But it looked like Haj Malik Williams just said, you know what, I'm going to start playing improv football. I'm going to start just creating on my own. And that's exactly what he did in the second half. And he ended up getting a bunch of yards, certainly on the ground, took off and ran. But Boise State just couldn't sustain and couldn't keep on the field with any type of consistency in the second half. But I'm not going to complain about any of that. We got first world problems here at Boise at Boise State football. But I agree, to win that game 21-7, only giving up 7 points in that second half with as many yards and scoring opportunities as UNLV did have. That was a heroic effort by the defensive unit. And Eric Chenander he deserves a ton of success. Stone Thomas takes from YouTube. We did it. And a whole bunch of crying emojis. I feel you on that. Boise, Maddox Madsen was exactly what this team needed. Open weren't juiced. I'm just assuming many weren't juiced about him being named the starter, but he has done exactly what we needed to do to get us here. He is a true blue collar Bronco, coming from a former backup quarterback that never started a game, has coached the quarterback position at Boise State. I can say that Maddox Madsen is a certified quarterback legend in this program. This season, how he navigated a lot of negativity that was thrown his way. Even early on in the season, my question was, can he win those games with big time throws and big time plays? I knew he was gritty. I knew he was tough. I knew he would do exactly what Dirk Cutter was programming him to do. But, the throw today, that corner route, was as good of a throw as you can make. If that exact throw happens in Denver here with Bo Nix, everybody's going to throw a yellow jacket and call him the next Heisman Trophy winner. Maddox Madsen, to me, has overcome, obviously the size deficiency, the lack of a bunch of recruiting hype. And all he's done is go out and be the exact quarterback that the exact team needed at the exact time to be in a college football playoff and being ranked 12-1. He's a certified, stamped, approved quarterback legend that should be on the Mount Rushmore of the quarterbacks in the history of this program. And, certainly you talk Kellen Moore, certainly you talk about Ryan Dinwiddie, Jared Zabransky, and I'm not going to put it at 4, whatever the hell the Mount Rushmore limits it to, but I'm putting Maddox Madsen and his cool haircut right there in that group of the great ones to play. And I'm going to throw my guy Grant Hedrick in there for the last Fiesta Bowl because I just absolutely loved him and he played phenomenal. Keep those comments coming. It's a good one here from All-American. Had my heart ripped out 2010 and 2011. Not anymore. This is epic. That's a real Bronco. You've been there for a long time. The real Broncos have that predate even me could go back, and I'd love to see if anybody's on this show that is watching from from the perspective of somebody who went through the 1980s and some of the national championships in the lead up to being on the biggest stage of college football. I'd love to hear from you as well. You don't have to worry about that because you're going to be in position, and why stop now? Why stop now that you get to the dance? And I think you get your best dance shoes on and you get ready to cut up the freaking rug when you get there. And it's most likely going to be Fiesta Bowl, or we'll find out. I still think that Clemson has a very good chance to beat SMU in tomorrow's ACC title game, which I do believe would boost Boise State up to the number 3 seed. Looking here, now we can get into the weeds a little bit. Shea Oladipo definitely saved the game. Just saying he didn't make that tackle against UNLV probably wins, to be honest, or at least tie the game by the end. And I agree. I said that Shea Oladipo was my MVP of this game. Just a guy that did so many things for this team in the pass rush, added to the run fit as a blitzing nickel. Did some great stuff in coverage, and then the speed to be able to save that tackle when the game was 21-0 with a lot of time remaining. Ends up, stopping the ball carrier from UNLV inside. It was at the 5-yard line. Very next play, I have no idea how UNLV gets a delay of game penalty. I'm going to credit you, Bronco Nation, and Albertsons Stadium and the crowd for the crowd noise, but a delay of game penalty is inexcusable after an explosive run. I still don't understand how that happened, but for you to stop that breakaway run with just tremendous effort, tremendous speed, and just I'm not going to be denied kind of a mentality. Shayla Oladipo, a true Bronco, a true blue blood, a true blue collar individual that I've been watching him play for quite some time, and he was just absolutely phenomenal. More about our reaction to this. Shane Burt, love this team, Bronco for life, fan since 1975. Shane, I love it. So you've experienced the FCS, multiple FCS playoffs, experienced multiple championships, conference championships, FCS championships at the time, Division I AA. Let's talk about the crowd today. I'll say this, watching on TV, even some of my friends here in Denver in the media side, I got a bunch of texts, a few little comments on Twitter. Some people that didn't understand the college football playoff that said that a college football game in Boise, Idaho is going to be epic. Unfortunately, that is not going to be the case. We will not have a chance to host, but that's actually fortunately because that means that you are a top 4 seeded team in this college football playoff 12 team play. So I agree here. I've talked a little bit. Got some let's go here. This is awesome. I love this from Mike McGowan. His first game of 1990. So many great memories of BSU making the football analyst silly for years. This year is crazy, amazing. It exactly is that. I mean, think back I could speak to it. I was recruited in 1999. I signed in 2000 and matriculated to Boise State from Southern California. The landscape of college football was very different. There wasn't a lot of noise outside of SEC at the time, the Big 8 conference. I think it turned into the Big 12 around that time. Big 10 and Pac-10, which turned into the Pac-12 in due time. Boise State wasn't fully on the map nationally. It wasn't even in Southern California. And to think now, and I want you to go back to whatever time you became a Boise State fan, and just imagine that you have somebody that is a no question top 2 Heisman candidate. And I'd love to hear from you, Bronco Nation, if you think that performance tonight puts some form of exclamation point on Ashton Genty's Heisman candidacy. But a Heisman candidate that's going to be in the top 2 without question, a team that's going to be getting a first round bye in the college football playoff, a 12 teams. So by the time that you're playing in those games, you're down to an 8-team tournament. So you are a top 8 tournament team. And I think that'll be solidified by the time the CFP final rankings come out after this college football weekend. And frankly, you're in a position because of the roster. The offensive line is back healthy. Ashton Genty is back healthy. We'll pray for Banks on the defensive side. Ahmed Hassani, and I'm assuming that he's okay. He's one of the toughest dudes that I've seen play the game of football. You got a special teams unit that had a great night. Didn't give up too many significant plays, protected kicks well. Boise State, in my opinion, and this is something that I'd felt for the last 5, 6, 7 weeks, Boise State hadn't played its best football that I believed it was playing in the first, between weeks 2 and weeks 5 and 6 up until that Washington State marquee matchup. Boise State had been playing what I would say is uneven football for the majority of the back half of the season. Boise State played its best game tonight. And so that prepares you and propels you into being in a great position to go do something significant in this tournament. The health is awesome. The quarterback play is awesome. You're not turning the ball over. And to have the offensive line in particular back healthy. Another guy that I didn't talk about yet, Matt Lauder. I want that guy on my fantasy football team. I would love to have him here in Denver as a Denver Bronco, looking for an elite tight end, whenever that time may be. But Matt Lauder, just phenomenal football player, turned into one of the next great Boise State tight ends in a very long list. Jeb Poutier, Derek Schumann, list goes on and on. Those are 2 guys that I played with, so I think about those guys in particular. But Matt Lauder, 5 catches, 62 yards, had a long of 40. Latrell Caples with the big-time touchdown catch. That was a great throw, but certainly a great catch by Caples. Cam Camper, he had a phenomenal sideline catch, did a little toe tapping, great distraction, kind of overall concentration with a hand up, worried about the sideline, secured the football. Prince Strawn with 2 catches for 18 yards, an early drop on a 3rd down, but I thought he rebounded really well at a 13-yard long. And then Ashton Jeanty, 2 catches for 14. But one of those catches was, I thought, one of the biggest licks that Ashton Jeanty delivered of the day. Right there on the sideline. Ashton Jeanty was impossible to tackle today. Let's keep those comments coming in. I want to interact with you, Bronco Nation. This is a monumental day. It's a day that you should smile. You should wear your blue. In fact, BJ Rains doesn't allow us in the postgame show to wear Boise State gear. But you know what? The network executives in this case, I don't care about. I bought this, the very first release of the Ashton Jeanty NIL New Era ball cap, 7 3/8. I bought this the very day it was released. I believe it was the Blue and Orange store. And so, BJ, I am going to violate network rules, and I'm wearing my Ashton Jeanty NIL cap, and I'm celebrating with the rest of you, Bronco Nation. TJ Bingham, I agree. I'm wearing all blue. That's the way to go. I've got my my Boise State hoodie on as well. Let's keep those comments here. And this is good question here. Mike, you are a Boise State alum. How do you feel? Oh, that's a great question. I feel overwhelmed. I feel overwhelmed that a school that I played at, that I coached at, is going to be amongst the elites of college football in the biggest and most expansive moment in the history of college football, in the inaugural year of the 12-team playoff. I feel proud. I feel like I am connected in some way, shape, or form. And I think a lot of Boise State alums and former players would speak to this. When you just look at what Boise State has become, there have been many moments of heavy lifting that date way back to the BJC days, Boise Junior College, to the Division II FCS, into Big West Conference that I played in for my redshirt freshman year, into the WAC, and then eventually into the Mountain West Conference. And to think about where this program was, it was successful. Over my 5 years, 53-9 was our record in those 5 years. I played with some incredible players, but the heavy lifting by some of my teammates, by some of the coaches that came before this group, I think there's a semblance of pride that you had some skin in the game for what happened tonight. But I don't want it to leave it at that, because I think that's the nostalgia take from a former player. Tonight was significant heavy lifting by the guys, the men that wore the blue, the coaches, Spencer Danielson, doing an unbelievable job of taking over as interim head coach and injecting life and making it about personal relationships with the players. Spencer Danielson with arguably the biggest coup in the history of Boise State football, getting Ashton Jeanty to turn down talking big 6-figure, if not 7-figure deals from SEC and Big Ten schools across the country to stay with this program and deliver to the point where he is now knocking on the door just 128 yards away from breaking Barry Sanders' all-time single-season rushing record. It's almost too much to wrap your head around, and that's exactly how I feel. I think we have an update. I have been asking for. The Goalpost sent me a text earlier, and that text said, "Dear Coach Sanford," said something along the lines of, "You don't know ball." Signed, South End Zone Goalpost. Can somebody please give me an update? Is it the North End Zone Goalpost or the South End Zone Goalpost? Is it both? And did it make its way into the Boise River, which would set Idaho Fish and Game completely bananas? I don't know when the Steelhead run is. It looks like it is the North End Zone. Thank you for those live updates. North End Zone. That's okay. South End Zone. You sent me a nasty text, but you also blocked the field goal, so we're all good. I'm glad to see the North End Zone because that's the one that's closest to the Boise River, and it is currently in the river. What an incredible scene. I can't wait to watch it. I was trying to watch as closely as I could, BJ wanted me to start this post-game show immediately after the game, and I had to, just as a Boise State alum, I had to watch the field storming because as many unbelievable things that have happened in Boise State's football history, certainly since 2000, which is what I can remember, the field stormings just don't feel like they've been a huge part of the Boise State lore, and rightfully so, because we've been favorites in all of these games. We haven't had the major upset victory. And I know there have been. I think Oregon might have been with Chip Kelly's debut game and Byron Hout getting overhand left from LeGarrette Blount. I think that was a field storming game, but it feels like it's been decades. And just what an incredible day to be a Boise State Bronco. Nicole Auerbach, a friend of mine, I know her well. She said that post-game, this win doesn't guarantee a bye. How is that possible? I don't know. Because if you look at the strength of schedule, both Arizona State and Iowa State are well outside of that, top 12 going into conference championship weekend. UNLV also in that same discussion. Those two teams have 2 losses. And what I want to point to and why I think this is so important, I've been saying it all week on social media. Arizona State, granted it was earlier in the season, they have 2 losses. One of their losses was to 5-7 Cincinnati. Okay, that's a tough one on a resume. That's a very, very challenging one to back up. And the other one was to, I believe it was Texas Tech. And then on the other side, Iowa State. They also lost late in the season and 3 weeks from the end of the season to Kansas, who also finished the season 5-7. And Kansas did not help the rest of the conference by finishing out its regular season, getting obliterated, manhandled by what was at the time a 7-win Baylor team. I just don't see how the resumes even remotely stack up. Brett Yormark, the commissioner of the Big 12, he's been politicizing this and stumping for it via social media, calling the college football playoff. It doesn't matter. The rankings at this point in time, Boise State adds a 3rd top 25 in the current status of when they played these teams. Boise State was top 25. And now Boise State has one loss, 12 wins, and that one loss was against the only unblemished team in college football, and that was to Oregon, a game that I still stand by. Boise State should have and certainly could have won, a game that came down to a field goal, and that is Oregon's one of their 2 closest games in their 12-0 quest, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. And I agree, this is great from a reaction standpoint, and I want to talk to everybody from every standpoint. Alexandra Lambert, thank you for saying this. You guys, who cares right now? We won. Agreed. We're going to the college football playoffs. We'll let all the talking heads, even though I'm one of them, we'll let all of them do all that, the stuff that they do. We'll let the stupid commissioners argue. But Gloria Nevarez, I thought she had a great point. UNLV, I thought if they win this game on the blue with 2 wins on the road against Houston, 27-0, and then a win over Kansas, the team that eliminated Colorado, that to me is putting a big stain on the resume, certainly of Iowa State insofar as they win tomorrow. They might have also been in the conversation for a bye, but guess what? Who cares? UNLV takes their 3rd loss of the season. 2/3 of their losses come against the Boise State Broncos. And yes, for back-to-back years, your Boise State Broncos are Mountain West Conference champions, beating UNLV now with a 3-game win streak. And I think it goes further than that. I haven't looked at the recent trends of that, but let's get some more here. We got more about the goalpost came down. I know Gloria, this is interesting here. This was great right here. I love this. Chenander Clinic tonight. I call that the old chef's kiss. One of these right here. Mwah. Chef's kiss performance from Eric Chenander. Pressure package was elite. Containing the triple option it's a big challenge. When you're running that very strange go-go offense with the offset backs on the same side, both to the right of the quarterback in near proximity, some late motion, some triple option, some ability to throw the football down the field. I thought technique and fundamentals of the defense were phenomenal tonight. And then the execution of a game plan was as good as I have seen. And when the games have been really big for the Boise State Broncos this year, and I'm talking Oregon, Washington State, and UNLV on 2 different occasions, those 4 contests, the coach in me, these coaches' eyes, have said, Shenander has a plan tonight. He has a big-time plan, and that was a coaching clinic. I thought that was absolutely phenomenal. In addition here, Preston, 2 fumbles that should have been ours. Could not fall on the ball. Agreed. Some of those were stripped. Some of those were Haj Malik Williams dealing with the south end zone crowd. SECers, you guys made a big impact on the outcome of this game. It was a tremendous performance from all of you. And I agree again, Alexander, that the DBs were unreal. So we talked here again about the clinic. Talking about Gloria Navarez again. I think Gloria wanted UNLV to win this one to make the conference look better. Sorry, Gloria. Utah State with Bronco Mendenhall is going to be leaving the conference. Boise State, Fresno State, Colorado State, all leaving the conference. San Diego State as well. A little bit more. This was actually from being in my own home. Brennan brings up here, I thought it was amazing they had the sky cam for this game. Made us feel more like a bigger school and bigger stakes. The other thing about it, when you watch Boise State games, and I've watched a lot of them as I've coached all over the country and tuned into Boise State games when I can, wherever I was living. When you watch a lot of these games, you don't feel the connectivity to the crowd, to the fan base. And it is interesting, that sky cam, while you kind of think, well, that happens at most, Power 5 games or, most elite games. That sky cam, it makes you feel like you're there. It makes you feel like you're a part and connected to it as an alum. I felt that way. I felt like I could kind of see, it pan into that south end zone, get some shots around the corner. I was like, that is an amazing atmosphere. And sometimes when you just see the sideline camera and an end zone camera, you don't get that same perspective. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. Comments keep coming in here. Savor the victory. Enjoy it. This is one of the best victories in the storied history of the program. I think that this is the most significant, without question, victory in the history of the program because of what was at stake. Certainly the signature win that the world was talking about and still talks about to this day is the Fiesta Bowl win over Oklahoma, just because of the dramatics of it, the antics of it, having, Adrian Peterson on the opposite sideline, and really the coming out party for Boise State on the national stage. Ian Johnson, my guy, dog food, that was our nickname for him, proposing to his beautiful wife, still married in Boise, I believe. Jared Zabransky, putting just an incredible ribbon on an amazing career. It was just one of those games that was phenomenal. And just keep going through here. Every Boise State Fiesta Bowl has been led by a first-year head coach. Wow, how about that? That is amazing. Chris Peterson, Fiesta Bowl win over Oklahoma. Trying to think. Brian Harsin. No, there's Boise State Fiesta Bowl win over TCU. I think that might. Certainly, I know two Boise State Fiesta Bowl wins were led by first-year head coaches, and Brian Harsin, I was a part of it. Mike, appreciate you, man. This season has been fantastic. I agree. It's been unbelievable. I love this comment here from Patrick Millard. It'll be huge if we can get Sire Gaines back for the playoffs. I'd love to see it. I'd love it for him because that's going to be not only does Ashton Jeanty, I think, to be able to run at his optimal level in the college football playoffs. I do think that he needs a respite. And my goodness, did he come off the field today? I don't think he did, because obviously the rushing total is 32 carries, 209 yards, and Maddox Madsen had 3 carries for 9 yards. How about Maddox Madsen's touchdown run? To break that down, that was a run pass option. So it was a design quarterback. It was not quarterback run. It was a design power handoff. So the left guard was pulling, Ben Dooley was pulling around for Ashton Jeanty, but out there on the perimeter, Maddox Madsen loved what he saw to be able to throw a little bubble screen. I think it was a now screen, which is the outside receiver coming up, but the corner drove on it and he didn't want to throw the interception. So in RPO football, if you disconnect from the mesh point to make the throw that's available, and all of a sudden it's a turnover worthy play, you do what I call is you follow the runner and you turn the running back into the lead blocker. And in fact, Maddox Madsen turned it into quarterback power with Ashton Jeanty as a lead blocker, but yet he saw the cutback over to the left side and just heady play. I absolutely love that play. It was phenomenal. Really good. Okay, so here we go. We got Ford came in for him, and so did Crow. Okay, for some reason I didn't notice that. I had bedtime, putting the kids down. I think probably at some point around that time. Want to hear more from you. 3 of 4 have been first-year head coaches. 3 of the 4 Fiesta Bowl wins have been first-year head coaches. Chris Peterson, Brian Harsin. What other? Please help me in the comments. I'd love to hear that. What other first-year head coach won a Fiesta Bowl? Because I'm pretty sure we went from Dirk Cutter to Dan Hawkins to Chris Peterson to Brian Harsin to Andy Avalos, and I don't think he went to a Fiesta Bowl. And then now to Spencer Danielson, and we don't have a Fiesta Bowl win quite yet. So 2 coaches, yes. Peterson won 2 Fiesta Bowls, and Spencer Danielson may have his crack at a Fiesta Bowl. We'll find out with the 3rd and the 4th seedings. It'll be interesting to see. There we go. Coach D will be the 3rd coach to go to the Fiesta Bowl, and we'll see if he is the 3rd one to win a Fiesta Bowl in his first year as a full-time head coach with the interim tag taken off. And then Pete, obviously, 2 Pete, 1 Harse. All right, this is a good comment here. This Bronco team was battle-tested. Completely agree. Basically played high-stakes games every week after the Oregon loss. They accepted the challenge and emerged triumphant. For all of you Ball Talk watchers on Wednesday night here on Bronco Nation News, you've heard me talk about this now for 6 weeks. I started feeling the pulse of Bronco Nation from several hundred miles away here in Denver, Colorado, that there was a lot of kind of the old Boise State way of that you got to win with style points, or we're not going to make a BCS bowl game. We're not going to be a CF, a New Year's Six bowl appearance team if we don't dominate the San Diego States of the world, the Nevadas of the world. And I just kept saying this: survive and advance. Your CFP tournament really began after the Oregon loss. That's the reality of what this Boise State team was going to do. And yes, these were high stakes, high leverage moments for this Boise State program. And what the leaders of this team, namely the group of seniors, and I could go through it, but just an incredible group of players, of men that have gone through a lot, have seen coaching changes, coordinator changes, the roster in the NIL, see players like Eric McAllister leave and go on to other places. This team stuck together, and this team is now extremely battle-tested. And I would put that up against anybody in the country. You want to know why? Is because the modern college football playoff roster, many of them, are comprised and built for just that year, just for that season. You just accumulate as much proven talent through the portal, through the allure of NIL, and you put together a roster. The depth of the relationships, the longevity of the relationships aren't as deep as this Boise State team is. I heard my guy, Alex Guerrero, my former teammate, talking about comparing the power conferences versus, say, the Mountain West Conference, comparing, say, the Oregons, the Ohio States, the Penn States, the Georgias, the Alabamas, the Texas, Georgia, all those teams to a Boise State resume. And it's really at this point not about making the tournament. To me, it starts changing the paradigm, at least for me, is how does Boise State make a dent in this tournament and go compete to win the damn thing? And that's a real thing. Like, as a Boise State fan, change the paradigm to we're there, and let's celebrate being there. Let's celebrate our asses off this whole weekend. But let's change the paradigm of we're not just there. We're not just there to make some noise. We're there to win the thing. And if there's a year you can do it, you just saw the only unblemished team in the country 11, 12, 13 weeks ago, however many bye weeks ago it was, I have no idea. And that was Oregon. And you went toe-to-toe with them. And that's my message, and I'm sticking to it. But I agree. I like this right here. Patrick is feeling me, feeling my vibes. Got Mac Attack. Mountain West did great against the power teams this season in games. Agreed. Certainly the team that you just played put on a monster performance against 2 Big 12 teams. I like this point right here. Agree. The versatility of JFR that he played was huge. To completely agree with that, actually. James Ferguson Reynolds had not necessarily had his best season. He punted it 7 times, It was 39.6 yard average, but it just felt like Boise State kept pinning UNLV inside their 20. And it happened with consistency. No punts were blocked. I loved taking away De Jesus, the lethal punt returner, kick returner for UNLV, minimizing his impact on the game. And it ended up being just a phenomenal performance for the special teams unit in particular. One thing of note that's been a unique thing for me, just a weird quirk of the season, is Jonah Dalmas. It's kind of been it's been touchdowns or punts, and very few turnovers this year. And I do believe that Jonah Dalmas is an all-world kicker. I got to know him at Mountain West Media Days in Las Vegas at Circa. Love him. Super talented, unbelievable young man. Would love to see him get that opportunity in this college football playoff to kick a game-winning field goal, because I do believe Jonah Dalmas at his best is an NFL kicker. He's arguably, I think he is the best kicker in the history of Boise State. Would love to hear from any of the comments here just about Jonah Dalmas. Outside of PATs, it just hasn't been a huge piece of the puzzle yet for Jonah Dalmas. I'm going to look at the stats right now on my second monitor, if you don't mind. Just a weird little quirk of this season. Jonah Dalmas on this season. So so in the previous 3 seasons, Jonah Dalmas was 26 of 28 in 2021, 23 of 27 in 2022, in 2023, 24 of 27. And this year he's 13 of 16. He's only kicked, how about this? He's only kicked 1 field goal this season over 50 yards, whereas last year he was 4 of 5 over 50 yards. This year he's 0 for 1, but I love the fact that between 40 and 49, Jonah Dalmas this season is 5 of 6. And most importantly, in a year where you have scored 60 touchdowns, he has made, well, there's some 2-point conversions in there. Of the 60 extra points, he has made all 60 attempts, just like he did in his 2022 season where he had 48 extra point attempts and he made all 48. In the very strange year of Tim Plow, who's doing a phenomenal job at UC Davis. Saw a little shout out for Tim Plow, where he was very strangely excused and relieved of his duties. And then Dirk Cutter put on a clinic at the end of the season with Taylon Green. But we are out of that era of Boise State football, and we are in the era of college football playoffs. I believe that we are going to get, I want to show for a second a little bit of some of our post-game celebrations. So if you're at home, this is from BJ Rains live on the field. He captured these live on the field when the field storming happened. So we're going to watch a couple of these. Keep those comments coming. I love them. I love interacting with you, Bronco Nation. We are going to add the...
And that's your final play. Final score, Boise State 21, UNLV 7. And the Broncos are now 12-1, Mountain West Conference champion for the second straight year, and will be in the first ever 12-team college football playoff tournament, representing a group of 5. Seating and points rights will all be announced on Sunday.
Awesome scenes there at Albertsons Stadium. Thanks again for joining us. I'm not going anywhere. Trust me, we're going to be rolling for quite some time here on the Blue and Orange Store post-game show, brought to you by BJ Rains and Bronco Nation News. I'm Mike Sanford. I want to see some of this right here as well.
Zion, how's this feel, man?
It's great. Amazing feeling. Just look around. That's all you got to do. Look around. Thank God. All glory to God.
How'd you guys pull it off?
Loving each other, playing. You know, we said we was going to give it our all no matter what, but that's what we did. You can see the final score. That's just goes to show how much we love each other. That's what it is.
The defense dominated, man.
Yes, sir.
What did it feel like?
What we've been waiting for all year. We knew that what type of defense we were. We knew what we were going to see, and all we had to do was capitalize on it. We did.
You're going to the playoff, man. How's it feel?
It's amazing. We dreamed of this as kids. This is the best moment ever. Look on the screen. That's just crazy.
Mike, be quiet.
Crazy.
Congrats, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We are now joined by two legends of the game, two larger-than-life individuals.
Large. Hey, the three guys that should be running this bitch.
Hey, I've been running this thing the whole time. Oh, I'm going to go to this angle right here. There we go. We got Brad Bedell, offensive line coaching extraordinaire, and none other than Kent Riddle. My guy, Rid, got to hang out with Pete. I saw a picture up in the press box with your guy, Adam Ingroff, and Pete. Got a little Urban Meyer in you today as well. What a scene today at
Mike, I'm sure
Albertsons Stadium, man.
Not shocked yet. I did not spend any time with Urban. I did spend some time with Pete and Adam.
No, that's not true. That's not true. He was waiting on the sideline with Urban Meyer, handing out his business card.
Kent Riddle, special teams coordinator, The Ohio State University, 2025. You heard it here first from Brad Bedell.
Call it not happen
now. Call it now. I'll tell you one thing we don't have. We do not have the Mike Sanford setup. Look at that shit.
Yeah, Mike's the best.
How am I looking, man? Hey, BJ tells us not to wear Boise State gear on the postgame show.
I failed on that.
Right at BJ Reynolds, man. The network executives can't tell me what I can wear or can't wear. I'll tell you that. Well, hey, fellas.
I failed. I'm wearing Bronco stuff every chance I get.
Good for you guys. You guys are running.
Brad, I want to start with you.
Okay.
You've been very vocal as a CU alum.
Yeah.
And watching both your alma mater in a place that you now call home and have been very impactful in the program at Boise State. The performance tonight from Ashton Jeanty.
Phenomenal.
And talking about the Heisman Trophy conversation, was this the exclamation point that was needed and that will lead to Ashton Jeanty deserving the Heisman Trophy?
I hope so. And you're right, Mike. To be honest,
better.
Yeah, to be quite honest with you, I am, and you're tied to that university as well. The University of Colorado has been very good to me. I love it, but you have to separate yourself, right? I'm not a player anymore, and I think Travis Hunter is a phenomenal football player. I don't think he is the best football player in college football, in my opinion. This is why. Ashton Jeanty has taken a Boise State football team. If they don't have him, they lose 4 games. It is what it is. And you can say what you want, and I'll stand by that. Take Travis Hunter out of Colorado. I think they're better than Boise State. And so therefore, in my opinion, I don't care if you play both ways. It goes back to the Charles Woodson era, right? So I played at Colorado at Michigan. We got the brakes beat off of us by Charles Woodson. Great two-way player, phenomenal corner in the National Football League. That doesn't mean you're the best player in college football. That means you may be the best athlete, but I don't think Travis Hunter is the best corner in college. I don't think he's the best wide receiver in college. But I do know this. Ashton Jeanty is the best running back in college football. Therefore, if you look at this, and let's deep dive in it. Colorado, great. He's beaten them. In my opinion, it's not even a question mark. But let's go take a little bit deep diver. Ashton Jeanty's got more yards than the Alabama kid, the Ravens running back.
Yeah, Ingram.
Better. Won the Heisman, right? Let's take the Baltimore Ravens running back right now.
Derrick Henry.
He won the Heisman, Mike?
Yep.
Guess who has better yards? Guess who has better stats? Say it. Say it again.
Ashton Gentry.
So, so I'm so tired of the stuff. I've already cursed twice, so I got to watch myself.
We're allowed to. The FCC doesn't regulate this, so let it fly, man.
I'm hearing you. I am so freaking tired of a young man who's done things right, who's carried his football team to a championship. Spencer Danielson, you're right. I'll tell you this right now. I'll look in the camera. The best players in college football play in championship games. Amen. Let's go. So therefore, and now you take a young man who just rushed for 200 yards in a championship game that, in my opinion, deserves a first-round bye. So where's the argument? So where's an argument? So you don't have this, oh, he plays both ways. Suck it. There you go. That's how I feel about it.
Strong case, strong statement. And I mean, I've been saying this all along because I live in Denver. I do media in the Denver market, right? And so I think.
And you were at CU for a while, so
yeah, I coached at CU. I've been to 4 CU football games in the Coach Prime era. I've watched Travis Hunter play. He's phenomenal. I mean, and nothing that you said, Brad, is inconsistent with the fact that he's a phenomenal football player. We're talking about the greatest player in college football. And I stand by this. And I think today was just an extension of what I believe is that I wholeheartedly believe that my vote, which would be driven by my heart and also by what I see and analyze in my head, and I would vote for Ashton Gentry. But the reality of the situation is I do believe that Travis Hunter is going to win the award. Whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, I do believe it's going to go that way because of so many different things of just narratives, highlight plays. There's so many different things.
There's award is stuff driven behind the scenes too, right?
Correct. Yeah, and it's an imperfect award. It always has been, But I like if you go to Las Vegas right now and you put a wager, you can see where things are going. And that's just Vegas doesn't miss too often.
I wish, and I'm not going to do it because my boy is right behind me, and he even said it. He's like, "Hey, Dad," and I was like, "What's up?" And he goes,
"Oh, that's why you're not cussing. I get you now."
No, I don't give a shit. Gentry deserves. He said this. Gentry deserves the Heisman. You know what the problem is? I go, "What's that, bud?" He goes, "All they're going to do is ride Travis Gentry or Travis Hunter for the next 2 days." Because and everybody's like, "Hey, we've got Gentry right now. He's limelight. He's national. He's this. He's that. Right? Well, it's not. Colorado's not stupid. They're the.
Well, it's not just Colorado, right? I mean, it's I mean, they're big time agencies behind.
I mean, marketing and branding. It's phenomenal. Like and it's also phenomenal in the portal and NIL era. It all ties together.
So Travis, he had everything on Times Square yesterday. I mean, the Colorado media, the Colorado University of Colorado is not dumb. They're very smart. They're driving this, right? And they're putting and I told this on Wednesday or Thursday. I said it would not shock me that after the game that Gentry just had, that Travis Hunter is either on game day, which he already did on the bye week, fact, right?
Right.
Or something national media wise to curve what just happened tonight about 2 hours ago with a complete dominant situation.
Yeah, but I mean, the reality of it is I hope people actually watched the game and saw Ashton literally dominate the game.
I did my damnedest, Rid. At least for Colorado people, I just live tweeted the living crap out of the game because once, like my biggest thing, man, and I had this tweet, whatever, it is what it is. But, my biggest thing on this whole deal was talking about, there's a lot of discussion about the term generational talent. And I do believe you do have 2 generationally talented players in Ashton Gentry and Travis Hunter. But I said this. I said the sign of a generational talent is when you, quote, bottle him up and, quote, have a great plan but this is his halftime stat line: 14 carries, 132 yards, 9.4 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. I mean, it is what it is. Like, they had a great plan. UNLV's really good defensively. That same defense, let's just call like it is, Brad, that same defense absolutely bottled up the Kansas offense and that big-time running back, what is his name, Neal? They ran for, it felt like 500 yards against first CU Buffs. That's the same defense that bottled his ass up. He went for 200 bills.
It's not even, I mean, I think it's comical. It's like this. And I'll tell you this right now. And I hope somebody or an alum at the University of Colorado and shit, I'm sorry, they may take my name off the wall. I don't care. I'm so tired.
You can't. You're an All-American. You're good.
Yeah. But because you talk bad about Travis, we're a hater on Dion. Shut up. I'm not doing that. I don't hate Dion. I've never said a bad word about Colorado football, but stop. It's not Dion, it's Travis. You're just second. It's okay. It's nothing wrong with being second in the Heisman. You're the second best. Congratulations. Awesome. In my opinion, I think who should be hosting that award and thanking his phenomenal parents and the great Boise State and Spencer Danielson is that player. And you can be mad at me all you want, but you know what? Stay mad.
I think the unbeknownst deal to everybody is like, hey, Travis Hunter is going to be the number 1 guy, and Ashton Genty's going to be the number 10 guy in the draft. And
who gives
the reality of it is they're both going to fall. Like,
I agree.
I don't know who's going to be where, whatever, but I think that's reality. But we're not talking about where they're at as NFL players. We're talking about where they're at as
college football players. There's been a lot of great Heisman winners in college football that have been really bad pros.
Yeah.
Right? Mike, you agree with that one, right?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Red
pros.
Yeah, and I do think that I do believe wholeheartedly.
One of them was tonight. Brady Quinn was a bad pro, but a great college football player at Notre Dame.
Yeah, Heisman Trophy winner, right?
Heisman Trophy winner. You had 3 literally Heisman voters on the field tonight watching that performance tonight.
Yeah,
Matt
I mean,
Minor,
think about it. Really outside of Ingram, two of the 3 were not good pros at all.
Exactly. They were horrible. I mean, hey, I was drafted by Cleveland. I didn't want to see Brady Quinn take the field in Cleveland.
He did look pretty good. And his modeling pictures are elite, though.
Dude, the Absolutely. Guy, hey, he's a handsome gentleman.
Yeah, he looks better than the 3 of us on this program.
Dude, he doesn't have this going on. Do you see this? This is a waddle. I got it.
It's okay. You got a gobbler, man. Hey, Red, I wanted to hit you. To hit you with this, Red. Red, you've been a part of this program since 2001, on and off.
A little bit.
Where would you rank this victory in terms of just the significance of this victory in what you know of the Boise State program in your lifetime of being around the program?
It's funny. I was talking to a fairly prominent former head coach.
Not me.
Is that Pete? Did you just say not me?
Fairly prominent. I did get fired after 2 years and went 1-7 as an interim head coach at CU. That's fairly prominent.
Oh, now all respect to Carl Durrell. That's a really bad roster you hired.
It was tough sledding.
Yeah. Well, and I should have prefaced it with here. So, but he was like, this biggest game ever here. I'm like, well, I missed a few of the ones you were involved with, but yeah, I mean, this was a huge game, and you know what? I was so fired up for the way the guys started it. Like, I mean, just watching them walk into the stadium. I mean, those guys were so fired up just to be a part of it. There was no, I don't know. They weren't scared. I know that sounds like a dumb statement, but they weren't scared.
They weren't gripping the bat too tight. That's what I liked. There's been a few games this year where I do think that there's been signs of gripping the bat too tight because of how significant and consequential all these games were that you're supposed to win by 40 or whatever.
You must be talking about the last
not one
three.
of those nights.
Talking about the last three?
Yeah.
There's Oregon State.
Yeah, but it was a little goofy, and that was not a very good Oregon State football team. That's about as bad as an Oregon State football team.
Their ass.
But
What'd you say, Brad?
Their ass.
Their ass, man. It's like,
oh my god!
Like, if you were to hang a poster of Cheeks, that would be Rid's alma mater this season.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what's too is Oklahoma State.
Oh, dude, how bad are they, man? How bad are they? They're so bad. They're so bad that the mullet. Did you hear about the mullet? I guess he was in a standoff today about his contract going forward.
And they fired him.
No, I guess it's still going on, apparently.
Oh, I heard it was reported they fired
I read that like 3 hours ago. They were firing him. And then my buddy, who's like an Oklahoma lifer, he's like, no, he's still in the standoff. I'm like, are they pointing a gun at each other and see who's going to pull the trigger first? Like, what the hell's going on in Stillwater? It's unbelievable.
All money driven.
Hey, so are you?
But my point being, like, yeah, was it the biggest game here? Absolutely. I mean, and I think we're into the quarterfinals, right? I mean, barring some wild.
There's no way. Is there any way? Do you guys see any, like, how the hell would the Big 12 have?
There's always a way.
I am a huge conspiracy theory about this. Why?
Talk to me. I want to hear it, Rid or Brad, because I don't think it's possible.
Oh,
I don't think it's possible either. But at the end of the day, is it possible? Yeah,
You know what I think? I think this committee gets together after Boise wins by 14, and if Arizona State beats Iowa State, a 16 team that's a higher ranked team than UNLV, says, well, they beat them by 28, so we thought they leapfrog Boise. Because Big 12 commissioner is a whiny ass girl.
I don't think that's even kind of in the.
Well,
but
I'm just warning you.
Absolutely.
Okay, hold on. I got a question for you guys because this is actually a good one. The comment says, ask Brad, Rid, and Mike, what's going on in the second half? UNLV's defense got rolling that much, or Boise let off the gas?
You guys were there, so you guys, where were you guys sitting? Or
I don't want to comment.
You know
what? I will comment.
Really,
you know what?
I want to. I'm
Yeah.
not sure I remember.
What I really want to know is, Brad, did you have
hold on, Mike. I want to thank Jim Sturk at Lithia Ford.
Let's go.
For having Rid and I, and not to mention that, but your wife, my family in that box, and
we
just
kept them warm.
Yeah.
And I remember everybody.
But it's I want to appreciate Jim Sturk at Lithia Ford. It was a phenomenal atmosphere.
So you had a good ball coaching view of the game. Is what I was trying to get to.
Yeah, and
when you're watching the TV copy,
players in there.
Yeah, when you're watching the TV copy, it's a challenge, right? I mean, there's some things that you can see and you can't see.
Yeah.
I thought UNLV from the very opening whistle to the very end had a good plan defensively. I thought they had an absolute dog shit plan offensively. I think they didn't have a protection plan. I thought Eric Shenander ran circles coaching wise in terms of schematics around Brennan Marion in this ball game.
I actually talked about this tonight earlier. Like, Chins was freaking awesome
on it,
and the whole defensive staff, not just Chins.
No, and I don't want to single out just him, but obviously did a really good job of calling
a dominating freaking performance.
I will.
And for everybody that was on the the corners are terrible. DeMario Warren, we just shut those guys to nothing until the end.
I agree. Hold on. I will give Shenander almost 100% credit for this. This is why. He looked at it, and let's say defensively, just like offensively, Mike, you know this, you have to make up for something, right? So if the passing game's not great, O-line, tight ends, running backs, we better put it on them.
Yep.
Right? And open up something. So when you look at this defensive scheme that they ran tonight, the pressures, the simulated pressures, the walk up to drop. How many times did you see all walk up, linebackers pop in the slant lanes and things like that. That is a great game plan to mix that up.
The quarterback pulled it one time early. It made some yards. After that, I
shut it down.
There were a ton of TFLs. I mean, there were a lot of Hajj Malik TFLs.
So I think Shenander deserves credit knowing that, you know what, our defensive passing game is not very good. Because it's not. I don't want to. Let's not beat around the bush. It's not great.
It's been tragic at times, right? Let's just call it like it is. Tonight was not one of those nights.
It was not. But I think when you confuse a quarterback and pop people and take away one, get to two, and rely on the pass rush, you're making it right. It's good. I think Shenander deserves a lot of credit tonight. The whole staff. I know they game plan everything together, but I think Shenander deserves a lot of credit tonight.
I agree with that. And you know what? You know who I thought I gave my MVP, and I might have some local bias living in Colorado, but Shea Oladipo was phenomenal. The different roles that he played, both in coverage, in contained player for a quarterback run, in the option phase.
How about when he ran down the running back on the 90-yard run?
Might have been the play of the season.
He held them to 0.
Exactly.
I mean, and then you get 2 trips inside the 10-yard line where you got momentum, you got, Uncle Mo jumped on your shoulder, and they come away with 0 points twice.
Absolutely.
Twice. Even at the end of the game, they come away with 0 points.
Shea Oladipo.
You're welcome.
That one of those things that never gets.
Hey, he's a Colorado kid.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's why I said it, man.
He's a 6'0" strength kid.
Yeah, I just got a text from McChesney. His videos. It was. I'm serious. Yeah.
Tell McChesney. Bedell said, "Suck it."
But yeah, man, it was. That was a great performance. And then you know what hadn't happened all year that I've been saying, on Wednesday nights when I'm on here on Bronco Nation News. Just like technique of playing the football in man coverage down the field hasn't been great this season. Tonight it was, man. Tonight it was phenomenal.
I agree. Ball skills were great.
Ball skills were awesome. They were looking up for the football, locating it. Particularly Jeremiah Irby, dude, was phenomenal. 2 humongous plays on the football, and it was textbook. You get in the hip pocket of the receiver, you get physical presence, you look for the football, and then you lean him out of bounds. And that's exactly what he did, and he did it phenomenally.
I thought the other guy, just from a fan standpoint, like Ty Benefield, was phenomenal. I don't know how many tackles he had.
It was 8 tackles.
It seemed like he was in on every tackle.
Banks too. Banks was great. You guys, that injury looked pretty bad on the TV copy. Strange thing about Banks, I don't see any stats on him, so it's weird. I have no idea why. But Ty Benefield had 8 tackles. He was second on the team, tied with Rodney Robinson. He had 1.5 TFLs, and then Shea Oladipo was 10 tackles, 1 TFL. One snap, 2 TFLs, and then a forced fumble.
And I may go on and on. I like Marco, Drew Simpson, Ahmed, like Jaden Virgin. I mean, those guys just.
Jaden Virgin Morgan was all over the place. All over the place. He was whether he showed up in the stat line or not. He ended up with 5 tackles, had a sack, 2 TFLs. You just felt his presence. Like when Hajj Malik was like when he was breaking contain and finding ways to potentially push the ball down the field, it felt like it was Jaden Virgin Morgan in his face, like to disrupt the throw.
Yeah,
consistently.
Hey, I'm kind of monitoring these comments right here.
Yeah,
I want to bring this one on. Do I just hit that?
Yeah, just touch the comment. There it is.
I want to talk about what a great job both the coaching staff have done building and teaching these young men to play tonight. I think that is a phenomenal statement.
Yeah,
think about that.
A good comment. That's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take some shit ones. But think about that one. When you take a team that really has had the pressure on themselves from week, I would say what, 5, 3. I mean, right, or since the Oregon game.
Yeah. I would argue that they had the pressure on him once Ashton Genty said he was coming back, and then you signed a 5-star quarterback that the world said was going to be the next savior. That the pressure was on the team at that point.
That's a great point, Mike. It really is, and I think Spencer deserves a lot of credit for the connection, the love, and the staff that's going to say, "Hey, if you trust what we're doing, we're going to win a championship." And guess what happened tonight? They won a championship. And I think that's a great comment by him. And I love the fact that some people recognize that college football is still about connection, love, and just buying into a process that'll win you a championship.
Yep.
Doesn't always happen that way. I'm sorry. It doesn't.
Hey, tell me a bit about the atmosphere. Oh, we got a little action back there?
Yeah. What do you got, bud?
Oh, this is good. Last time I was sitting in those seats, Brad Bedell almost ended up in the slammer because somebody was talking to BJ Rains and
there
he almost gave him the straight business.
Just need some.
Hey, can we No.
No, we're not talking baseball tonight.
I hate to tell you this, brother, but Boise State doesn't have a baseball team anymore. I'm sorry. And you know what? You send a letter to Dr. Trump or Trump. That baseball team's no longer here.
Yeah, Marlene, not a big baseball fan. Apparently.
Enjoy the rest of your night. So Boise State football, they won a championship tonight, and it was out of control. Awesome. Appreciate you.
Fellas, to get you guys kind of back, I will say this, Brad. As I watch the scenes unfold, I do miss Boise, Idaho after dark. It's one of the more unique towns in America, and it gets pretty weird, and I love every bit of it. And I can't imagine how weird it is going to get tonight. Brad, you've been to Prop. How many years did you coach at Boise State? Was it 5?
17, 18, 19, and 20.
So 4 years, and then you've been in Boise now for the 23 and 24 seasons, correct?
Yeah, since I got poop can versus Auburn. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah. You want to compare notes on getting fired, man? I can one up you. I'll be like the Saturday Night Live skit. I'll one up you.
Mike? You know the greatest comment I ever heard is there's coaches that have not been fired and the coaches that have been soon be fired.
No question. And I would say now with all these young hotshots, there's coaches that have not been fired, and they're the ones that just have the bag, brother. They know how to get the bag to the right spot.
They lie. It's a straight up lie.
So this environment,
lie. It's just coming.
No, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you this. It's a lie because UNLV had a quarterback that was promised $100,000 and got 10, and thank the go-go offensive coordinator, he didn't get 100.
Yep, I've heard similar sentiments.
You're welcome. Guys, I ain't going back to coach, so I don't give a rat's ass.
Hey, the most dangerous thing is having 3 coaches that don't have any designs on going back to coaching on a live stream podcast. This is nuclear. I mean, this could get real weird.
Hey, UNLV coach leaves for West Virginia. Whoever gets a UNLV job, give me a call. I like to split face cards. And you know what?
You double down on blackjack.
Give me $250,000 and circa, I'm going to give that right back to you.
Hey, Brad, you like to double down on blackjack against a face card? Is that your kind of world?
Dude, I will do anything to make myself more money.
And that is Dan Campbell football, as we saw last night, man. He had blackjack dealt to him against a face card.
Hey, so that's the analytics world, right? So you either live in the analytics world and you got your book out and blah blah blah, or you live in who you are. And Dan Campbell is living in who we are.
You know what though? I love Dan Campbell.
4th and inches, like every time. Don't give a shit. Doesn't matter. Who cares? Like,
hey, hold on.
You know what? Freaking worked.
You know what?
Rid, I wanted to ask you this question.
I like Dan Campbell. I'd love to give Dan Campbell the pregame speech tonight. That guy's
without question.
He may punch a kid, but that's okay.
Dan Campbell's brought 1980s WWF back to the NFL, which I'm going to thank him for the rest of my life.
Absolutely.
Hey, Rid, just watching the overall kind of the way that the running back position outside of Ashton Genty has evolved this year. Just watching it, seeing it, knowing, you've rotated running backs for various times in your career, coached tight ends, running backs. I think you've coached quarterbacks, I'm sure, at some point. Rid, how important is it to get Sire Gaines back for the college football playoff?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure if Ashton was out one play of the game tonight.
That's what I felt. Apparently, Tyler Crow came in a couple snaps.
Yeah, I guess I actually did see that. I actually thought Ashton was out at receiver those couple snaps, but yeah, I mean, just get my man a break.
Brother couldn't get a table dance.
Yeah, I think that would be huge. I'm not sure that's going to happen because we're going to be who we're going to be playing. Like I'm not sure Ashton will let himself out of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if it rips off a 70-yard run that doesn't get in, but
Yeah,
let's
maybe
be honest.
a quick head tap.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. If he gets out in the open, I don't know how many of those aren't going to be a touchdown. So, yeah. Do I think it helps? Yeah. Every freaking bullet you got helps. But I don't know. Like what I know about Ashton, he ain't tapping out anyway. So
No, I would agree with that, but let's take it a different. Formationally, with him back can help you.
I agree.
Putting both of them on the field at the same time, especially with Ashton, who has such great hands and is great in space, put them both at the same time. Now you got to make the determination: is one more productive than the slot and all that? But
right,
you put two running backs and motion out and throw one out there and put one in space and things like that.
Yeah.
So I think you become more dynamic with two running backs on the field, formationally.
Yeah,
I just don't know.
Hey, and one other I was going to ask, particularly Brad, when you looked at just the season as a whole for Ashton Jeanty, certainly looked, I thought, incredibly fresh, dynamic, like without question the most eye test passing running back performance I'd ever seen up until the UNLV game version 1. The elbow injury, and then I think some other things that probably will never see the light of day in terms of how banged up he was. He looked banged up for, I would say, the 4 or 5 games following that UNLV game. And I thought tonight he looked back to early season Ashton Jeanty. What did you see in watching him tote the rock and how he was getting off the field after plays?
Mike, I 100% agree. I thought for me, watching the Oregon State game, you started seeing flashes.
Yeah.
You started seeing explosiveness, the breaking tackles. I thought
he's a bye away from hurdling guys.
Right. Yeah. I thought the Nevada game, San Jose State game.
San Jose was bad. Like physically, he looked physically like he was totally
still rush for 200.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Is like it was like his production was dropping off insanely, but it was lacking that pop.
But you can't deny this. You didn't see the explosive runs that you saw the first 5 games, right? Where UNLV, after the elbow injury, he got clipped by the heel. He wasn't breaking those tackles. Where San Jose State, guys, he was not breaking those tackles. Where then you saw Oregon State, where you saw just flashes of just straight explosiveness and twitch that you don't see. You saw those the first 3 weeks versus Oregon.
Right.
Tonight, you saw Ashton Jeanty who he is.
Right, I agree.
And right then and
I'm
there,
just telling you, like give him a couple weeks off.
Oh, it's
gonna be scary.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, I think that's the difference, right? I mean, really, if you go to the playoff, you get the first round bye. Think about this. You know how long that is? Now, I'll tell you this right now, and we've all seen
28 days off.
Right. You've all seen this, and we've all quarterbacks. You've seen this. Is he just has to stay in shape, right?
He will,
and I'm not denying that he will stay in shape, weight under control, things like that. But I think you'll see in Ashton Jeanty in the playoff game that you saw week 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm. That's what I think too.
Where you didn't see the true Ashton Jeanty in week 9, 10, 11, in my opinion. Now, some things are now. Let's not face it. They had some really injuries at center, injuries at right guard. the right side of the offensive line, they gave us some penetration on there's some movement issues, things like that. That
Yeah,
gave
I was going to ask you about that. The way I saw it is from my perspective, and I coached at Boise State in 2014, and we had an awesome offensive line. When I was at last year's CSU game, I was like, these dudes are different, like in a good way. And they were growing into what they were early on in the year this year. And you end up playing a majority of your 2024 season without a healthy offensive line, a full five starters playing, and now you're back to that. How important it to you to have Carry On back and most, in my opinion, always the driver of the bus, man, having Mason Randolph back,
no doubt.
To have them be able to play together for 2 weeks before the college football playoff.
Yeah, he had to settle down, but I'll tell you this right now. It's huge. And not to mention the fact of just knowing you got your guys back.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a room. We got our guys back. We're good. Mm-hmm. And I'll take it a step further. You saw a lot of the right side of the offensive line's been a little iffy, right? Later in the season because of the injuries. It's nothing against them. It's just, it is what it is. But when you get your center back, that even I'll never forget it. I saw it on the TV copy. You see, Genty standing tall. Mason is standing there and he's pointing at that guy. And just knowing Mason, he's telling some bad things to that guy.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, that's ours. And he's just dictating traffic. And in today's college football for everybody, the center does a lot more than in some aspects than the quarterback.
Absolutely.
He's got to see safety rotation. He's got to see, do I need to flip the protection because the safety in the boundaries off the hash and they're going to bring the corner. There's a lot of things about this that you need a general at center and you need an alpha. And I think when they have that now with Mason back, and I think the protection tonight was phenomenal. It was really good. Did they even give him a sack? I don't think so. Did they give him a sack?
Yeah, so I have on the game 1 sack from UNLV.
I have no idea which one that was, but whatever.
It was Fisher Carmack got the sack, and he's a D lineman, so it must have been whatever.
Hey, Mike, though, like in my estimation, like the biggest deal was right before halftime, right? That changed the game. Boise State had a chance to go up 14-0 or 21. Well, I think everybody was kind of thinking 17, right? They did a great job managing the clock, got the ball back with a minute 43.
43, I think.
43.
With a run that went 70.
Yeah, they went run for 5 or 6, kind of get the drive started. Timeout, run again, and Ashton rips off 75.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was a great run too, by the way. The setup, it was so good, man. Like it some of those runs you see, like it was blocked well, but there was a crease and he set up to second level. He's just such an advanced runner.
Yeah.
That like as he's getting to the line of scrimmage, he's setting up his next cut.
Absolutely.
And that to me is that's one of the many things that separate him from the best running backs I've ever been around. He does that and he breaks the tackle and the thing that I didn't have on my Ashton Genty bingo card when I first started watching him was breakaway speed. And
he beat the safety. He cut the corner. You see that? And that was that run.
Yes, and he's done it multiple times this year. He did it against Oregon, guys.
Good point.
And you don't think that those dudes have the best that NIL could buy, the fastest that NIL can buy?
$20 million roster.
Yeah, and I've heard it's even getting more outrageous. You'll love this. I found out that the tackle from the state of Utah got a 1 point. He's a senior in high school. He got a $1.5 million offer, and that's why there's a flip of a commitment. He's a freshman offensive tackle.
Congrats.
Works out.
And because offensive linemen are so consistent on making it not.
And you know what? You know what that is That's why we got to take care of guys here, like Casey, Mason Randolph, Roger Carrion. Like we got to take care of those guys enough.
Yeah, take nothing for granted.
Enough. Like we don't have to pay them, maybe what they're getting everywhere else because they appreciate what they have here. But we got to take care of those guys enough.
As they're poking.
And
I'm telling you right now.
That's a big deal.
Offensive linemen, I think I was actually
everybody else is the sexy guys, right?
Exactly.
Those are guys you actually need.
And you'll love this. And Mike, you'll both of you will. I was just talking to college. I think college going into his senior year.
Darren,
sorry.
Not the institution of college as a whole.
I think, yeah. Well, he thinks he runs colleges. I think Darren is probably a $1 million man right now. If Darren was in this Ezra Cleveland, look at Matt Paradis. I mean, look at all the offensive linemen.
It was awesome. I ran into Clady this weekend.
Ezra Cleveland is a $1 million man.
Yeah, I ran into Ryan Clady. He'd be a $2 million guy in this current landscape.
Oh, he would be playing for Alabama, and then he'd be still a first-round pick.
Yep.
It's just it's a wild thing that's what's happening right now, and for everybody, the Boise fans, I'm with you. You want them all to stay. They're not all Ashton Genties. They're not all going to stay for what the $300 or whatever they were paying that young man. Because I know for a fact there's an SEC school that was going to pay him $500,000. $500,000. $750,000. And they're going to be in the playoff. And you cannot.
You going down, boys?
No, some dude. But
I'm on high alert, man, because I know the location. I know the vibes. It can get a little unhinged over there.
To the window.
I know you will. There's no question. It happens.
Yeah. What do you want me to do? But I think it's important about that. But if you continue to win championships and Boise State continues to go, boys, we're the first round bye. I mean, let's not cut this stuff out.
It's as real as it gets.
And we're going to tackle this in the future. And do you want to play in Ohio State? Do you want to? Who gives a rat's ass tonight? All as I know tonight is we're looking at a first round bye.
Enjoy
it. Don't worry about who you have to play. Who gives a shit?
No, I agree.
Just want a Mountain West Conference championship.
Yeah, 24-hour rules in full effect. You got to enjoy every single bit of it. As a fan,
I think this one gets extended to 36.
Yeah, we go 36. I go 48
tomorrow.
Oh, if I'm a position coach right now, I'll tell you what. I'm going to have the 24-hour rule, and there's going to be a lot of beers drinking. I'll tell you what, players. 48, I get it, but I'm going to monitor the next 24.
Oh, it's good. Hey, I was going to ask you this because, yes, I'm all in on enjoy it. Don't think too much ahead. I do think that, throughout the course of this college football season, I do believe there's an absence because of the portal and NIL, which is strange. You don't have stockpiling of 5- and 4-star talent in 1 or 2 schools or 3 schools like you probably did 5 years ago. All right.
Hey, Mike, this is like a whole nother show topic. That's why the Big 12, Pac-12, ACC, even the SEC, it's not like it was. Because
I agree.
All those other guys that used to be second and third stringers there playing for somebody else.
Yeah, like Indiana.
Hey guys, I'm gonna let me play devil's advocate.
Let's do it.
So let's say this: Georgia's had a kind of a run of guys going in the portal,
right?
And Mike, you know this
renegotiation, renegotiation.
Thank you. That's a good point. But Mike, you were in this NIL. I was in this NIL thing.
Right.
Is this if 4 leaving, that cuts the NIL, so they're done, right?
Yeah.
So you guys are saying there's more parity. I'm going to tell you this: I think the richer keep on getting richer, because now if I'm a booster and I'm sitting at Georgia, now I can go Oregon. You brought up Oregon. Let's go to Oregon. That's a better example.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact that Mr. Knight I think he deserves that respect. He walked in and said, you know what? I'm willing to pay $70 million. He doesn't care. They're the number one team in the country. And it's now coming out that he's willing to spend the amount of money. Does the school have that? And this is where I have a problem with this, is I don't think there's parity. I think Oregon can go buy whoever they want. If they want Casey, the left tackle, they're going to offer him $1 million.
Yep.
Well, there's always a point where you can't compete. Like, we can offer something to make you comfortable, but I can't turn that down. That's always a point.
Well, so on the parity conversation, let's talk about within the SEC.
Okay.
Because obviously, like Texas and Georgia, you look at they're both one-win team, one-loss team, two-loss team. Texas and Georgia playing in the championship, but like Alabama, they invented NIL about 42 years ago, right?
Red Elephant Club.
Red Elephant Club.
Years ago.
It's called the Red Elephant Club.
Yeah, but we'll go deeper.
Based out of Mobile.
How in God's green earth does Vanderbilt lose to Alabama, or does Alabama lose to Vanderbilt in this current landscape?
Because you get the right guys. So many people in evaluating college rosters get all worked up on what they were out of high school, their rating. And Mike, you know this better than anybody. Like,
that's a good point.
That doesn't mean shit.
Right.
No, you got a good point.
You have to be an actual, like, really good college football player to play on a good college football team. And you know what? Sometimes that means you come in as a undersized, underrated, whatever, and you develop into a good college football player. Sometimes that means you come in to a great program looking like Zeus, and you can't even kind of play football.
He sucks ass.
Yeah.
So it's buyer beware.
And so, like who you play against in college or in high school matters and all that stuff. But everybody gets all into the ratings of how good somebody should be, and they forget how good they actually are.
I agree.
And I guess my biggest setup for this conversation isn't to get into a deep dive in
Vanderbilt situations because the quarterback blew ass.
Yeah, that's true. And he blew ass again against Alabama's quarterback. Blew ass again against who was it? Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. And I'll take this. Vanderbilt.
But the Vanderbilt quarterback is a baller.
He's a baller.
From Mexico.
He's literally that young man is literally the Alabama state champion because they beat the brakes off of Auburn too.
Yep. You have any quick comments on just Auburn's football program under Hugh Freeze's leadership?
So I took a piss and it said Hugh Freeze in the urinal.
I love it.
Hey, I'll tell you this right now. Brian Harson's got a better. I almost said it. I didn't. Brian Harsin has a better record. Suck
Yes, he does. Yes,
Suck
he does.
it. I didn't say the F word. I said suck.
Right. So I derailed it for a second. I did it on purpose. But who in this field can Boise State, playing a good, clean team football game, do you think Boise State cannot beat?
Who? Well, I was going to ask you the same thing.
Here we go.
Who do you think? I mean, in my opinion, they can play with any one of these teams because they already played with Oregon.
Agreed. That's the only unblemished team in college football.
And every one of them is going to look different.
Yep.
It's not going to be the exact same. But is there anybody they can't play with? I don't think so. I mean,
can Boise State beat Texas?
Yeah,
I absolutely think so. What do you think?
No.
Nope.
I think Boise State needs a team that's going to be 12 heavy, rely on the tight end, and not have outside speed. So what's the problem?
Georgia?
Tough. They have flat out speed. So think about this. What are the deficiencies about Boise State football?
Coverage, downfield coverage.
It is what it is.
I like the step that was taken tonight.
Yeah,
I
agree with you.
Call me red, rose-colored glasses guy, but I like to step. And I have felt that Boise State's been in position in every game.
I'm not going to argue with that. I agree with you. But there's a difference when from the conferences and Mountain West and all that. There's a difference, Mike, and you know this. I know you know this. There's a difference between a wide receiver 1. There's a steep drop off from 1 to 2 to 3.
Yeah,
where a Texas, a Georgia, in Ohio State, they have speed at 1 through 5.
Yeah,
that's what worries me. I have said this in the past. The Boise State motto is this: put the ball down, and we're going to snap your neck.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it is. Can they win? Can they lose? I'm saying this. You don't want to see these teams. I think you want to see a team that's built off of 12 and tight end talent. Penn State.
I think what you want to avoid is an elite quarterback.
Good point.
And I don't know who that is.
Yeah. I think in Arizona State, I think Boise State can beat Arizona State by double digits.
I do too.
I think an Arizona State team can beat Penn State. I think an Arizona or Boise State team can beat Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I worry about Clemson, Georgia, Tennessee, Ole Miss, all those, Alabama.
The traditional skill player.
Exactly, Mike.
Mike,
exactly.
You know this. Like, to me, it's all about where to go with the ball, right? Because we're tricking people a little bit. Like, we're doing more than most. So if a guy doesn't know where to go with the ball, that's a problem. Like,
you know what? You want to know, to be candid, you know what my biggest fear would be against, we'll say that a lot of the aforementioned teams, frankly, all of the blue bloods that have the big NIL war chest and have my biggest concern would be 3rd and long against any one of those teams right now.
Good point. Yeah.
Like 3rd and 7 or more.
I mean, Arizona or Ohio State's got to their standards, an ass offensive line. So that matchup's real. That matchups are actually real. And a quarterback that's not mobile. But if you give the quarterback time in the pocket, they can beat you with speed.
Yeah. And that's my thing is like, if you were playing Boise State and you're, let's say, let's even go Penn State. Let's go. And I'm talking about Penn State's defense versus Boise State's offense. What's preventing you on 3rd down and 5 to 9 from bringing every form of combination pressure and just play country club cover 1 press or 0 the whole game?
Nothing.
Because you're an elite athlete.
Yeah, and that's like right now there is a bit of a deficiency of the proven number 1 wide receiver for this team right now.
Yeah. I guess your biggest fear would be like, can your linebacker match up with Ashton?
Yeah. And
that would literally be your biggest fear.
Option routes, angle routes, things like that.
The angle route that was called on 4th down by Ben Johnson last night against cover 0.
I can't hear him, but he did. We can let him go if we want. We got some players we can hear from. We can hear from Spencer. We got some highlights.
Do I step in? I gotta use it.
All right, I'll tell.
Mike, I love you. I gotta pee.
Love you, brother. Hey, P. Hugh Freeze on that urinal. You can just go HF if you can't spell in your current state.
What's up, Mike?
BJ, how we doing?
We're doing great, man. You went 1 hour and 46 minutes, so we're tapping you out, man. We appreciate you.
All right, brother. Hey, this pales in comparison. This pales in comparison to the. What did I do? I did like Didn't I do a CSU game? I did a CSU broadcast, and then I did the post game show after the Oregon game.
Yes,
until it was like 1:52 in the morning that we checked off.
Crazy. Yes.
It was wild, man.
Any final thoughts, man? Pretty cool.
I mean, I thought it was the most complete performance, an amazing moment in Boise State football history. Just interacting with Bronco Nation, I thought the crowd to have that sky cam show the crowd and the pan over the crowd. It gave me chills, man. It gave me chills as an alum. It made me realize there's been a lot of heavy lifting over the course of the last 30, 40, 50 years. A lot of my teammates were a part of that heavy lifting, but tonight was an incredible night of heavy lifting by these players for what is to come, and that's college football playoff and beyond. And I think this was a massive performance against a very talented and game UNLV team. And you just outplayed them. And I think you played your most complete game of the year, probably since the Oregon game.
Well, we appreciate you jumping on, Mike. Thanks a lot, man. And we'll try to do this again soon. Get all you guys back involved to preview.
Appreciate all of you guys. Love you, Rid. Love you, BJ.
Let's meet Phoenix.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I might have to make a little trip out there.
There you go. Thanks, Mike.
Hey, real quick before I cut out, I think I'm going to be on the broadcast for the Snoop Dogg Bowl, so I might be able to segue that into another one. So the Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice.
Snoop are like this. So,
I know. He was one of your biggest allies in recruiting. Jeremy McNichol. So there you go.
J-Mac, DeAndre, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's the whole posse, bro.
Got a little deal going.
Gin and Juice. Hilarious. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you, man. We'll see you soon.
Appreciate you all.
Rid, how are we doing? We
awesome.
Didn't break any FCC rules or anything. We're having
my knowledge.
Okay.
I was told best behavior.
There you go. It sounds like I got pretty good reports, I think. So that was incredible. That was pretty fun.
Hell of a win. Unbelievable atmosphere. Hey, I say it every time, but the fans were going to matter. The fans freaking mattered.
Yeah.
I mean, it was awesome. The atmosphere there was tremendous. Just so fired up. Yeah.
Did you guys stay long enough to see they finally did? I don't know if you talked about it, but they finally did get the goalpost down, and then it ended up in the lake or the river.
I actually missed.
Okay,
there's a river.
Yes, the river.
But I missed that. Did not say that long.
They tried. Well, we got footage. We'll get it up there. I mean, they tried, and they finally got it down. And they actually couldn't even get the whole. It's cement, so they couldn't. They just bent.
Was there a chance Jeremiah was down there, like telling him, like, it's okay, let him go?
My understanding was he was like, "We're making $8 million out of this. It's okay." No, I don't know if it's exactly what he said, but
I feel like.
They do have a potato bowl.
Jeremiah might have been on the
swaying from the top.
Let's bring this thing down.
But it was kind of it was really tough because it was cement, so they didn't actually rip it out of the ground. They just kind of bent it, and then they just ripped the sides off. And so the base is actually still in the ground. They just ripped off the sides and carried them right out of the. Is that the
great job
national championship? When was there? You think it would ever? Can you think of a time, or maybe historians know on here where the blue on the blue they would have ever tore the goalposts?
The goalpost came down at some point in the early 2000s. I can't be sure, but I feel like they did.
Because I know it's usually like been there, done that. Like when I went to Kansas, you would never rush the court because you're used to winning. And here, people are so used to winning and doing that. There's probably not a lot of opportunities to.
I'll be honest, like it's hard. Like you got to go over the. Stands.
Here it is.
You got to hit the deal. You got to go over the fence. I mean, we're very organized storming the field.
1994, Chris says was the last time.
All right.
Yeah. So, they tried for like 20 minutes, and they're kicking people off the field, and they just kept trying, and they finally got it down, and then carried it right out of the. That's awesome. Right out of the stadium.
I'm fired up. They did.
Yeah.
Like we need those moments here. It doesn't have to be an every time thing.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, I mean, this is a huge game.
I was thinking, they're going to start the north end zone renovation early, and then I forgot they got the potato. They got the potato bowl in 2 weeks, so they do have to put.
Well, I think they are starting it before that.
Okay.
Actually,
well, I mean, but they got a game in here though. They got to get those goalposts back up pretty soon.
Back up. We'll be good.
Well, Maddox Madsen, some of the players talked. Let's hear from Spencer Danielson. He had a chance to talk, his opening statement, and some of the players. This is in the post-game press conference after the game. Boise State, again, heading to the I was going to ask you guys if you know this real quick. I tried to ask the Orange Bowl rep on the field, but if Clemson were to win, so Arizona State also gets a bye, and they're the 4, could that potentially mess up the Fiesta Bowl for Boise State? Because Arizona
shit's way too complicated.
The Big 12.
For me. I'm going to wait till Sunday and figure it out.
Okay, because they do have a bowl tie-in with the Big 12 with the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah,
and if
Brad said he read something, there's a 6% chance of the Rose Bowl. I was like,
there's a chance of going to the Rose Bowl.
Okay. Well, for fans and stuff, the Peach Bowl wouldn't be. I don't think that'd be as exciting. I mean, I know everyone's not the Rose Bowl. It's not. But I mean, I know some people maybe would like to go somewhere new. You've been to 3 Fiesta Bowls, but in terms of short notice and travel and everything, I would think the Fiesta Bowl makes the most sense.
Fiesta Bowl makes most sense.
Yeah.
I would assume that's what's going to happen.
Let's hear from Spencer Danielson and the players after the win.
Well, I appreciate your guys' time as always, and I don't know if people like when I say this, but it is what it is. Like, thank you, Jesus, for the victory. And we serve a champion, and when you do and you put your heart to something and you don't run from hard work, anything's possible. And it doesn't mean it's always going to be perfect. It doesn't mean you're always going to be a part of crowd storming championship games, but you're always going to give yourself a shot when you keep the main thing the main thing. That's what this team does, and I give Jesus all the glory for it. These players, our staff, college football is in an interesting place, and we don't want to fit in the mold of what people say you got to do. Like, this place is different, and this fan base is different. We got the best support in the country. We got the best AD in the country. President Trump, Jeremiah Dickey, even we had our Governor Little was out there today. Like, we're just so blessed to be a part of this place. And Bronco Nation is the best around, and they show it time and time again. Complete sellouts all season long. I mean, I could stand up here all night talking about how many people I need to thank. I'm so proud of this team. And in January, when we're out on that exact same blue field and it's snowing and these guys are doing tug of war with their shirt off, they talked about what they wanted to do with this season, which is win a Mountain West championship and make it to the college football playoff. And they did that, not because of we asked for anything. Like, they put their head down and worked. And I'm proud of them for that. And that's gonna carry them so far in life as husbands and fathers that nothing's promised to you, man. You got to earn everything you get in life, and they did that. And I'm proud of them, and it was a very special moment that I'll never forget.
Thank you, Coach. With that, we will open it up for questions from the room. If we could keep questions for now to the student athletes, we'll take questions for them before we turn them loose and come back to Coach Danielson. So if you can raise your hand, we'll go right down here in front.
John Worcester, Idaho Press. This is for whoever wants to take it. This has kind of been your goal all year long to win the Mountain West Championship and now get into a playoff. Doing something that this school's never done before? What's that mean for you guys?
We took it 1 week at a time, and we've been playing championship playoff football since week one. Since January, it's been on our minds. It's been our focus. And to see it, all coming into fruition, all the hard work that we put in, like Coach D said, tug of war, outside on the blue, early in the morning while everybody's asleep, all the hard work is paying off.
Just how cool was it to, have the fans rush to the field,
All right, can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? Are we back? All right, sorry about that, guys. Not sure what's going on with the sound. We're going to get that figured out here. We got Spencer Danielson as well. Not sure about that. Sorry, not sure why we're muted. We should have sound. Maybe we can get Spencer Danielson loaded in here if you want to, or send that video over to me, Jaden, on my computer, and I can try to play it here. Not sure about that, guys. Sorry. Back, and we're trying to play some audio here of Spencer. Brad, you want to come back over here for a minute while we huh? All right, well, we'll just get some final thoughts from the match and let them go, and I'll play the sound. We got to figure out the press conference audio there. I know you guys probably hit on everything, but just the moment, the history. We talked about it on the pregame show. You're going to have 06, 09. You're going to have 24 now in that list with these teams. I mean, it's whatever happens from here, this team will be one of the
Hell yeah.
one of
These
the greatest
guys were
teams in history.
phenomenal all year. Like everything they've done. I mean, literally could be undefeated at this point. And somehow we'd probably find a way to not rank them number one. But, I mean, they literally could be. And, just so excited for these guys. I mean, they're such a great team. Like you watch these guys interact with each other. They love each other. They're playing for each other. It's so fun to watch. I'm so excited for the future of not only the next game, the next, this year, but the future of the program.
Years to come. Yeah, I think it's fun. I mean, think about it. What we talk about, fast start, can't get more than a fast start. They knew what was at stake. They played that way. They dominated. And in my opinion, it is a dominating win. It's not a 48-10 win. Doesn't matter. The running back goes for over 200, right? I think Maddox played well. The defense came up to play.
Turnover, 6 sacks.
And you know what? They should have had more turnovers backed up. They should have done that. And I would say the only thing that I would remotely say is hand the ball off when you had the we were talking about it, right? 12 seconds left. Hand the ball off to Genty at the end of the first half, and let's see what happens. But I thought it was awesome. It was a great night. Crowd was amazing. Town's amazing, and it's time to go.
Did you guys see, by the way, so the quarterback obviously said he didn't know where Boise was from.
He's an idiot.
Fun with that on the video board. Every time he
probably still doesn't.
They had like the geographical coordinates on the screen, and they did all that. And on their own, we did not ask about it. On their own, Shea Oladipo and Spencer Danielson both made reference to, well, now they sure as heck know where Boise is.
I hope so.
And, I mean, it sounds silly, whatever, but they
probably doesn't.
The defense actually, it sounds like, was fired up by that, and the crowd, I know, was fired up by that.
Oh, there was full start penalties. The quarterback's a moron.
There have been people doubting the defense all year. Like those guys have been balling all year. Like you can, like
the D line's been balling all year.
Could get, whatever. You could been out of shape that they got beat on some throws. I mean, hell, if you throw one-on-ones, if you defeat 50% of them, you're doing pretty good. So that's why they call them 50-50 balls. Well, but I'm just saying, like,
we'll agree to disagree.
Everybody's like, that's the thing, because when you're 12-1, like, you got to bitch about something, right?
Oh, sorry. There's people are going to bitch about
something. Running up the middle.
Oh yeah,
and deep balls. I'm like, well, shit. Anybody can complain about that.
They did it, but they attacked the perimeter a little bit tonight.
Those guys have been freaking phenomenal. All year. And am I a homer? Absolutely. Are those guys my buddies? Absolutely. Like, there's not a doubt in my mind. But if I was going to trust anybody to figure out how to win the next game, it's those guys.
And we mentioned on the pregame show, but you now give Ashton Genty in the postgame press conference. Somebody said, Ashton, you're going to not play a game for 25 days. And he laughed and goes, that's the best thing I've heard all day. And so, you talk about this team, these lines.
He's going to be on
a world tour.
So I heard he's going to not play the rest of the season. He's going to get ready for the NFL draft.
It didn't sound like that.
I'm just joking with everybody.
Yes.
No, but he's going to be a world tour for about 14 days.
He's going to be.
We'll probably see him on the Today Show.
He's going to be taking.
You'll see him on Bronco Nation News, because we'll be headed to the Heisman ceremony next week with him. So I'm headed to New York, and we'll try to document that. And that's going to be.
Are we on?
You want? We could try to get the jet. Maybe we got friends
for it.
Yeah, we got friends. Well, I will try. But
no, you won't.
What is
you won't do it?
So we'll find out Sunday. Before we let you guys go, we'll find out Sunday. But if they do get the bye, they don't play till New Year's Eve. What's the next couple of weeks like? And how nice for this team to get 3+ weeks off before they play again. Like, what's that mean?
That's
funny.
The first thing they're going to do is let the players recover.
Yep.
Rest, recover, and it's going to be active recovery. It's not
conditioning.
those guys are sitting on the couch playing the esports guys over
Right. It's a but
Who won that game, by the way? That San Jose dude looked
shout out. I don't know what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, in
The
Broncos
San Jose
News
guys
Nation,
might
I need
have
you guys to look up
It's Bronco Nation News. All right,
I'm sorry.
Make sure you get it correct.
whoever was playing for San Jose State. I need you guys to look this kid up and give him some love. He was the most miserable human being.
They're doing the starting lineup, and he sat there looking like he would have wanted to be anywhere else than sitting there playing.
This jackass,
like it's outdoors waiting. What?
This jackass was almost in tears, and he goes, "I just got off a plane today," and I'm like, "Hey, jackass! It's Boise, Idaho, in December. You are a moron."
It was the esports champion, Mountain West Esports, Boise State versus San Jose, and a kid from San Jose came to play, and it was outdoors at the tailgate before the game. And he did not look like he was prepared for the weather.
You know,
and he did.
I'll say it right now.
He did get to go in and out, and he was very excited about that.
They have him at San Jose. That's a bull crap thing. I'll tell you this right now. I bet you he's ass. Congratulations.
Okay, 3 weeks off. Let's spin this forward here. What's the schedule like? And obviously they'll get together on Sunday and have a watch party and find out. And I mean, it is
I will tell
crazy.
you, as of 2 days ago, they had nothing planned. They were waiting till the end of the game. So guys will be getting text messages tomorrow like, "Hey, we're getting together Sunday at whatever time."
10 a.m. is the show, yeah.
So yeah, they'll probably have a breakfast at 9 a.m. and up in the Sky Center and figure it out, and then they'll lay out the calendar, which the coaches will be working on tomorrow.
I believe they already had signing day. But usually that would have been the 20th or whatever. Signing day is already in the books. They can focus on.
How about that? That's
Hopefully,
that's nice.
I think the big deal is like everybody could get a little break.
And
whatever it is,
it's good. I mean, it's the crazy thing. Are you guys both in the mind that it's 100% they're getting a bye, right? I mean, there's no unless could Arizona State win 60-0 or something, or
I told you this.
Zero chance of me being 100% anything.
The committee could still.
They will. Every
conspiracy.
Yeah.
But if they do get the bye, I mean, that is going to be surreal watching Arizona State and Penn State play with Boise State with their feet propped up going, yeah, we're playing the winner of this game. We got the I mean, it is not only did they get in, but to likely get a bye, just the whole.
How about if we just get to 8? How about if we just get to 8 and somehow they jump them and we get another home game?
Can I have some fun?
Are we gonna,
I don't think
about that?
I don't know. Yeah.
Have some fun. Would you rather have a bye or a Ohio State coming to Albertsons Stadium?
We talked about this like 2 months ago when it was all so long ago and it was kind of hypothetical.
Well, it's now. Take the business side out of it. Business for Boise State.
Ohio State coming to the blue or a bye. I think you take the bye.
Oh, tell you what, the James disagreed.
You guys would take the.
No,
I think
you take the bye.
Taking the bye.
You get into the final. I mean, that would be pretty amazing. But to get into the final 8 of the tournament, to have the extra time off,
you know what I want the
but how about how electric the whole area was?
That's why I want the bye. I mean, that's why I want the home game.
I mean,
it's great for the city. I mean, now, guys, now we're out of it. Now we're in corporate. So now we're asking people to pay $235, $400 for a ticket. And some people can't do that. Come to Boise, bring Ohio State into this arena. Find a way. Just choke slam them.
Speaking of which, BJ, what do we got going tomorrow?
Oh, we got something?
What do we have
news?
Tomorrow.
Basketball game?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got a Boise State basketball game tomorrow.
There is?
Which, and it's at the downtown ICC Arena. They're playing Washington State, 2:00. Good tickets still available. But if they would have lost tonight, I think it would have been a ghost town over there.
I agree.
But now you win this game. People are going to be fired up. I bet you more people that maybe weren't sure now go celebrate with other fans.
The better the football team is, the better everything.
And it's
wait a minute. The basketball team's playing?
The Boise State basketball team is playing tomorrow. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know their season started.
It's going on. But I will say this:
it's football.
It's during the SEC championship. Of all the games, like the Big 12 matters a little more for fans around here, maybe to see who wins. The ACC one is at 7. That'll certainly matter. Middle of the day, SEC champion. I mean, in terms of affecting Boise State.
Just saying, I know there's plenty of tickets available. Like, people need to get down there, support Sport Leon and
I didn't know it was
guys.
happening. Hey, can we go over this? Because you're
I'm
the
trying to let you
brainiac.
guys go, but go ahead.
No, I don't care.
All right.
The brainiac.
I
of
don't know if I
everything?
go that far, but what do we
You
got?
are. So what has to happen here? So is Boise a 4? What has to happen to get them to the 3?
Clemson has to beat SMU.
That's it.
Because Clemson.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, great night. Boise State wins. So is that it?
Yes. Because Clemson is far enough down
Okay.
that if Clemson wins, they won't get a bye. Arizona State will get a bye, and Boise State will get a bye. But Boise or whoever wins, Arizona or Iowa State.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, so Clemson or
Boise State is going to be ahead of the Big 12 champion. So right now, Boise State.
We think.
Yeah, because SMU is 3. Yes. If you look off the current rankings, SMU is 3, Boise State's 4, and then Big 12 has to play in the first round. But if SMU wins, then they'll get the 3. Boise State will be the 4, and that'll be it. But if Clemson wins, Boise State will bump up to the 3. Arizona State or Iowa State will get the 4, and then Clemson will be the 12 and have to play in the. Is probably what would happen.
That's all I need to know. I didn't know.
Who would be the? I know you guys talked about this, but is there one team that you just would be a terrible matchup for Boise State, or is it?
I already said mine.
What'd you say? Ohio State.
Oh yeah, anybody but Notre Dame, Penn State, Arizona State.
I would like to see them play Penn State. I think they could beat them.
I think they beat Penn State, Arizona State, and I think.
Yeah, there ain't gonna be one. I think we're past it's Boise State. There ain't one team in that field that's gonna see Boise State pop up, and when they got to play them and go, oh, we feel good about that one. And if they do, Boise State's gonna let them know pretty early that wasn't smart.
Yeah,
outside.
I disagree. And trust me, I get like Georgia, all that stuff, but we played with Georgia. I mean, should we rock Georgia when we were in Colorado?
No, I'm saying any other spot. No, I'm saying any other team is going to not be excited to play Boise State. No, they're going to know that. And it's not a.
No, my point being,
Boise's not sneaking up on anybody.
Maybe Texas might be the one that scares you a little.
Tennessee.
Tennessee, I think they're average on offense. Would be.
Are you? I think Ridd's smoking dope. Ridd, they have 5 legitimate wide receivers.
I would say the SEC, like O-line, D-line, would worry you a little bit, but
it just worries me. We said it's got to worry you.
Well, it worries me, but
yeah,
I mean,
anything with outside speed worries.
Any final thoughts from you guys?
Love
a great night, a lot of fun. I'm going to play some more interviews. We're not done. Don't worry. But
phenomenal turnout by Bronco Nation. That was, to me, the biggest takeaway the whole night. Like, Boise State showed up. Players responded. I mean, the first drive on defense for Boise State, get the big sack. I mean, yeah.
Did you just talk about their quarterback? I mean, he fumbled like 4 times on the snaps, and
his ass.
Yeah. I mean, do you think?
Come on now, we can.
No, like the crowd affected all that stuff. I mean,
he wasn't very good.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy that needed to be good, he wasn't very good. He didn't show up.
Yeah.
Our guy showed up.
For an OC that's looking at Oklahoma State and all these other places, he didn't have a great offensive showing.
Well, the Oklahoma State coach is fired today.
Is he gone now?
I don't think that's official.
It's not?
I thought they were going to make some changes and come to his staff.
Whatever. I mean, but anyway,
Mike Sanford's still watching. He says, I already miss you guys. He's
miss you too, buddy. Hey, congratulations. Congrats. Spencer, the whole staff, the players, Bronco Nation.
Because we know what it's like to go through this whole year. Like tonight, those guys can take a deep breath, relax.
A lot of cold beers.
Sleep till, have a couple cold beers. Sleep till freaking 9 tomorrow.
Noon.
Yeah. But even if they make it till 9.
Yeah, they won't.
Be a miracle.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations. I mean, it's well deserved. I mean, they've been starting this since January.
Well, I even think after the Oregon game, we're like, well, they can still get in if they run the table. I mean, they had to win 11 games in a row after the Oregon game, played literally with no margin for error.
Is that not the Spencer Danielson way? He did it last year.
Yeah.
He did it this year. That's his way. It's just he has just a knack of getting the players behind him and just loving them up and the connection. And I'll tell you what, I can't give him enough credit. And I can't give him enough credit. And the staff together.
No, but Spence's been phenomenal. I mean, just the
coach of the year. He deserves it.
Yeah.
And we talked about it on the pregame show, but literally the time, now or go back a couple weeks ago, a year ago to now. I mean, it is just, who would have ever thought? I was talking to Johnny, during fall camp, we talked to Coach Pete. He came to a fall camp practice and we were talking to him. And then after the game, we're talking on the field or when they're about to end the game. And we said, who would have ever thought when we were talking to Coach Pete on the sideline at fall camp, if we'd have said we'd be seeing you back here with Fox here for the big noon kickoff for the championship game with a chance to go to the playoff. Like, you think, that was just in August. You mentioned the day after the UCLA game and January. And
I struggle to finish my sentence because, I'm just so excited for Spencer. What he's done for those guys. And, man, it's just so fun to see.
It's refreshing.
Guys, to watch. To watch them play, to watch them practice, to watch them how they interact with each other. It's just, whatever.
It doesn't happen.
I'm sure that some people call it corny and they're like, he says Jesus too much. Or
he started his press conference today by saying, I know some people don't like this, but I'm going to say, and that's what he said.
Who cares?
Yeah.
It's him.
That's who.
It's even better. Yeah. It's like double barrel. It's who I am. This is the way I'm going to run my program.
You guys obviously know him pretty well. You know this program. You know how hard it is to do this. Tell the viewer, how lucky do they have it right now with what's going on with this program and the future of it?
Hey, get behind it.
Not lucky. Deserve.
Get behind it. There's more there. Is it going to take backing and financial and all that stuff? Yeah. But is the backbone there? Absolutely. Help these guys. Help them make this an every year thing.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
The reality of it is, it could be an every year thing.
Guys, buy every Jackson hot dog you can. Seriously,
Yeah.
I'm not
Horseshoe
kidding.
Golden Ale, all the.
I'm not kidding.
Yep.
It's support. I can't express to you, support the businesses that are helping NIL because that's what's driving college football.
Yep.
And you're in right. Thank God we have the people that are donating to the program to help facilities. Donate to the NIL people. That's who's going to keep these players here because Spencer said 13 players right now actively being recruited, not recruited. They're being bought. That's the way it is. Yep. And you know what?
And
support Jackson.
We're going to get the hometown discount.
Yeah, we will. Western Golden Ale.
Which isn't fair, but
it is what it is.
But we'll get it.
Jackson.
And we can keep those guys here with less than they're getting offered.
Because they love it here. But Jackson's, Western Golden Ale.
Yep.
Just buy those things. They're going to help the NIL and help these kids that we need. I'm not a part of it, but Boise State needs to make this run in the following year. And I know we're jumping forward, but come on, guys. Just
because who's going to
buy the
first
product?
Guy, who's going to be the first person next year? I don't know. What's the big out of conference game next year?
At Notre Dame.
At Notre Dame.
I'm going to be at that.
Well, I'm going to be there too.
But I'll tell you this right now. I've thrown a lot of Jackson's hot dogs down my gullet lately.
But if we lose that game, how many people are going to be fire Spencer Danielson?
Half the jackasses a part of this.
If you want to be part of that, then put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, beat it. Yeah, go. Buy it. Shove a Jackson's hot dog down your gullet like I do. I love a Western Golden Ale.
How about
I believe I just had one. Huh?
How about
no, only the hot dog. It's 25 cents for the hot dog. I don't think the Tornado gets you any money for the collective.
Really?
Just the hot dogs.
You need to take that up. You need to bring that up.
Anything that gets eaten in Jackson's.
And I hope. And the other thing is
so spend your money there.
And this is it, guys. This is the last night, right?
Yep.
Buying if I'm this is last night. I want to thank you. I want to thank all the sponsors. I think this has been a hell of a night.
We'll do some pre-bowl show or something. We'll get everybody back together again.
Well,
do that. But yeah.
Anyways,
I appreciate you, man. It's been a fun year. It has been fun doing this.
I'm not.
Jaden, poor bastard.
Jaden, yeah, you suck. I don't beg. I just hope I really hope this town gets behind the sponsors that are helping NIL to keep these kids in this town.
You don't have to do your own NIL. Just help the people that are.
Exactly.
Support their business.
Support their businesses.
Brad, people are saying you're great, so they appreciate you as well. Let's try
That's
again
the
with
first
Spencer
thing I've ever
Danielson.
heard. Now,
Did you guys talk, by the way, about Shea Oladipo tracking that guy down?
We did.
Yes,
Okay.
we did.
Hey, you know how
Then
many
they keep
points
him out
came
of
out?
it?
But
Zero.
in my opinion,
Yeah.
I
I
would
voted
bring
for
that
him.
up again.
Okay.
That is like the biggest play of the game.
I voted him Defensive Player of the Year, and he won 10 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, a forced fumble. But that play,
Colorado kid.
a lot of guys would have just given up. Oh, he's gone, and I don't know why the guy cut back. He could have gone the other way, but
Whatever.
Colorado
Well,
kid.
ironically, had he gone the other way, I think Shea might have tried to punch the ball out.
okay.
But whatever. I mean, you talk about the fortitude of the defense for the night. I mean, he tracks the guy down 90 yards downfield or whatever, get him down, no points. Hey, yes,
Hey.
is Chinander my friend? Absolutely. And hell yeah.
We saw that,
good
though.
sport, that guy.
I'll say it
That
right
guy-
now.
That guy was freaking
6 sacks again,
Nice.
2 times against UNLV,
Yeah.
12 sacks.
I'll say this right again. The defensive staff before this one saw that in him back. He's another one that's COVID that we brought in he's from Colorado, 6'0" strength, Matt McChesney. And when we brought him in, that was his demeanor.
Yeah.
And Andy Avalos pulled the trigger on that one.
Yep. No, those guys. For all the crap, everybody takes crap, right? I mean,
There were definitely times this year when Chinander was
I've
getting.
never taken crap
They
a
love
day in
the
my
O-line
life.
coach at Boise State.
the offense, it's always for running up the middle, not enough, whatever.
Which
The
got fans
defense,
before the
big
pregame show asking you
plays.
about that. Yeah.
Defense, big plays, blah blah. I mean, yeah. So excited for those guys.
I love it.
They can take a deep breath tonight.
What a great
relax,
night.
Give
Good
them
for
the
them.
double bird.
Give him the double birds.
All right. That's a
Go
good
to
stop. That's a good stopping point. Appreciate you guys. Let's hear from Spencer Danielson. Hopefully the audio is working here after the win.
Yeah, Jay, I mean, and you guys know me. I believe with God all things are possible. And knowing this would happen, I didn't know exactly what it would look like, but, I believe in our team. I believe in when you work for something that you get what you deserve and you get what you earn in life, and these guys did it. And if we could easily it's easy to say that, but then if you don't put the work in, nothing's going to come from that. And our team did it. Our staff did it. It's not me. I'm very open with people about that. I'm here to support and serve these kids, this staff. I mean, that's my job. And they're the ones that go out and do the work and put it in to get to this point and earn what we've earned to this point.
Earlier this week, I asked you about Ashton and the Heisman Trophy race being over, and you said it wasn't over. At the time, you kind of said that your message will eventually, happen. Is this the moment that it happens, and what type of statement did he make getting the opportunity to play on championship weekend?
Yeah, in regards to the Heisman, and I'm very open about this, I ask all voters, please just watch the film. Watch the film, watch the stats. That will show you that he's the best football player in the country. But I also want to make sure people know what type of young man he is, because I believe that goes into it too. When you're a Heisman candidate, your team should play in a championship game. And seeing what he did to go win a championship game for his team also speaks volumes. And when you see the type of young man he is, unanimous captain, one of the first in the building, one of the last to leave. We have a ton of conversations all the time, and it's all about the team. It's the greatest team sport on the planet. The Heisman should be not only the best player, but one of the best teammates, in my opinion, as well. That's Ashton Jeanty. Loves Jesus. He works hard. He treats people right in everything he does. And God has such an amazing plan for his life, more than just football. But right now he showcases week in and week out that he's the best football player in the country. And I don't think it's even close.
Spencer, similar to what I ask these guys, I know we've kind of scarce us a little bit around the CFP rankings, and you said you don't care what ranking. I assume we'll be watching on Sunday, and were you expecting a first round bye?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, at this point, we're in. And I'm so proud of our team. We're going to do a watch party as a team on Sunday, and we'll see what happens. And I know we're going to have another opportunity to play as a team, because this team will never be the same again. I mean, we got a great group of seniors. This is Ashton's last season here. So wherever we go play, whoever we play, we're excited to work our tails off to go play our best.
Now the game's over. Is there anything you saw, again, we've just got really good offensive first half, anything you saw from the last game against UNLV that you changed to kind of make this game so well for you guys?
Yeah, first off, I mean, ton of respect for Barry Odom and his staff. Think the world of the players he's been able to recruit, I mean, what he's done in 2 years at UNLV, I mean, it's special. I mean, I think extremely highly of him. And like I said, the players he's around. I mean, and I'm very open about Woodard, their linebacker. I mean, I think he's one of the best players we've seen all season long. And there's multiple others on their team. But our team just, went to work. And that, there's so many things. We beat Oregon State to end the regular season and all the hype on this game. And I tell our team, we've been in playoff football since we put the ball down in Georgia 3 months ago. I mean, there has been no time for us to take our foot off the gas. We knew that. Everybody else knew it. Everybody else told me that going in. And our team just went to work 1 week at a time. Line them up, knock them down. And we beat UNLV. It was a dogfight in Vegas a couple weeks ago. And everyone then told me, it's really hard to beat a team twice. It's really hard to win back-to-back championships. And I get that. It is hard. But at the end of the day, this is a whole new game. And we knew Friday night we were going to give their best, and we had to earn the right to be our best. And I'm proud of our team with the adjustments they made. But it's a testament to our players. I mean, the play with Shea Oladipo came up. I mean, you talk about the relentless effort to get him down on, the 4-yard line. That's uncommon. The easy thing is kind of get there and jog at the end, and then, they scored. That's not this group. That's not this group. That's nothing I did. That's these young men. And seeing them stay in the fight, keep swinging down after down is how you win championships.
Spencer, watching you as your players were talking, you looked like you had a little bit of an emotional look on your face. What was going through your mind as you were just listening to your players?
Man, you're going to make me start crying in front of everybody? No. No, I love these kids. I mean, that's the only reason I coach is to develop them for life. And I understand the scoreboard that I answer to in regards to college football. I'm judged on what happens 12 nights a year, but that's not the scoreboard that really matters to me. It's 10, 15, 20 years from now, seeing these guys be better husbands and fathers and seeing them, how they talk, how they're around each other. At Boise State, we define love as action and sacrifice, and that's what they do. It's not some rainbows and butterflies, everything's good, so we love each other. No, it's sacrifice, it's action, it's hard. It's also telling people the truth. And that's what these kids do. So seeing them reap the benefits of their hard work when nothing's promised to you, I know how much that's going to give them dividends in life years down the road when football's over for them. That's what is so special to me. And they impact me every single day I'm around them.
Yesterday just about the history of this place and what this means to you and what this win would mean. I mean, to now forever for your seniors, for you, for your team, they're going to say, 2006, 2009, and they're going to say 2024, regardless of what happens from here. I mean, what does it mean just to, with all the history of this place, to add this team to that, long lineage of historic teams here?
Yeah, BJ, I mean, we talked a lot about legacy this week and throughout this season because that's what this team wanted to do. They wanted to leave a legacy, which is your actions have resounding effects years to come. And that's what they set out to do in January, to leave a legacy. And this senior class, this group of players, Ashton Genty, a part of that, I mean, this is a legacy that people will talk about for years to come. And sitting on that podium, seeing Bronco Nation swarm the field, I mean, those are moments that can change everything for a program to accelerate you forward to the future because we're going to be different here. That's what I talk about. You're built different when you come to Boise State. And that's that doesn't say perfect. It doesn't say that we're better than somebody else. But when you win a championship like this with a group of guys that a lot of them could have gone anywhere else in the offseason, they said, no, I want to be part of something different, something special. Families knew this is where they're going to grow, develop, to be better husbands, fathers. That's different. And those are the type of players we're looking for now, even in recruiting, is if you want to be a part of something different, come here. If you don't, this ain't the place for you. I promise you, I'm going to drive you crazy. And being able to have moments like today that will resonate throughout history at Boise State and for years to come, I mean, it's very special.
Spencer, you have a great relationship with Chris Peterson. He was in the house today. Did you get a chance to talk to him before the game? And if so, what advice or what did he say to you?
I didn't talk to him before the game. We talked earlier this week, but he was in the locker room waiting for me after the game, and I gave him a big hug, man. I mean, Coach Peterson's a huge mentor of mine. I think the world of him. I pick his brain on everything, and he's such a huge resource for me. I'm just so thankful for Coach Pete.
And I know the great deal of appreciation you have for Bronco Nation and the fans. To have 36,000 fans just come out onto the field after the game, celebrate, kind of a crazy scene, but how special was that to be in there with them?
Yeah, I mean, we have the best fan base in the nation, and if I could personally go around to every single one of them, it took me a long time to get to the podium because I wanted to say thank you to all of them. I mean, they show up here, no matter, we've had some tough years here, and they still continue to show up, show out for this team, They care about their team. They love them. They support them. And so I'm just so thankful for Bronco Nation. I mean, I really do believe we're the best fan base around, and they showed up in a major way, and we knew they would. And they came. I mean, how loud it was for opponents' offense even tonight. I mean, they know where Boise is now.
Spencer, some of these great teams that are being mentioned here went undefeated and still didn't get a chance to contend for a national championship that you guys are going to have now. What was it like going into this game this week knowing there's no question, like we win, we're in? And have you thought much about what that can do for the respect of your program now, to even more so than you've had to this point, to play in an event like that?
Yeah, and the college football playoff got expanded. It's such a big opportunity for all schools because there's years where Boise State was undefeated and never really had an opportunity to play for a national championship. Now, as a competitor, all you want's a shot. That's what I told our team. I mean, all you want's an opportunity. And we set goals for our team, and then we went to work. I mean, it's not something that I don't talk about it a lot. But our guys, we wanted to make sure we had our best day in and day out process. And so now being able to get to this point, I do believe moments like tonight, can accelerate you forward at a very fast pace and really have potential to change everything in a positive way. And that's the legacy this senior class is leaving. They're going to be able to look back on years from now and see what is built here, no different than our team is privy to right now. I mean, we sit in a beautiful facility that was not built by this team. It was built by decades of winning seasons, blue-collar young men, chip on their shoulder, counted out, came here, won those games that got this place built to this point. It's our job to push it forward to new heights, and that's a legacy that this group is leaving.
I know that John said that Chris Peterson was here, but Post Malone was here. Big Noon Kickoff was here. You got the semifinal committee here, in the college football playoff. Have you taken a moment just to consider how wild tonight was, and who's paying for the goalpost that's in the Boise River?
That's Jeremiah Dickey, if you guys need to figure that out. But it was, even going into this week, I mean, and what you love about college football, I joke with our staff, I mean, we beat Oregon State, and it wasn't within 5 minutes that everybody said, well, good win, but the next one's the biggest game of the season. And that's college football. I mean, you got to take it week to week, but knew going into this game, how much was on it. Not only for the championship game, for the playoff, for the future, for years to come, for Boise State football. And that's why so much, I knew our guys were going to be ready to roll. I knew that. I was focused on making sure they cut it loose tonight. And I literally told them on Monday, and then again yesterday, we're going to cut it loose and it's going to be a party on the blue. And it was tonight. And because I don't want them going out there tight, oh, this is such a big game, so now I got to be someone different. I got to put my Superman cape on. No, do your job. Your best is enough and your best is required. I promise you, if you cut it loose, we're going to party on this blue. And they did that. They put the work in snap after snap, snap after snap. I told them we played UNLV 5 weeks ago. There was 170 snaps in that game. 6 seconds roughly a snap. We're talking 17 minutes of football that I need from you to lay it on the field, and those guys did.
Follow up about your quarterback, Maddox Madsen. He is now 13-1 as a starting quarterback at Boise State. How impressive is that? And then how impressive was his effort tonight? Because from the jump, he was pretty dialed, it seemed.
Yeah, Maddox Madsen is an elite competitor. How he preps. I mean, I talked with Dirk earlier, and I mean, Maddox had his best week of prep because that's who he is. He's not hoping the game goes well. Like, he's going to put the work in to make sure it does. And he's playing at an elite level right now. I mean, his touchdown-interception ratio, one of the best in the country for a long time, how he leads this team. And that's how we can stay efficient. Everybody knows we got the best football player in the country standing right next to him, but how he's able to operate the offense, make the throws he needs to make, and be smart with the football. That's championship football, is not turning the ball over, scoring points in the red zone. I mean, Maddox Madsen carries that weight, and he's an absolute, he's a tactician on the football field, and he does it week in and week out.
Spencer, you referenced your respect for Barry Odom at UNLV, and I'm just kind of curious as an observer looking from without and looking at the UNLV.
All right, we're going to cut that out. We don't need to hear about the UNLV football program. Hope you guys are doing well. By the way, we got the video here of the Final seconds going off the clock. The final kneel down from above. And look at the fans storm the field. Who would have ever thought you would see this sight? Albertsons Stadium, fans storming the field. What a scene, and I was right there in the middle of it. I think I saw a couple of you guys and slapped you 5, but it was quite the crazy scene there inside the middle of that dog pile. And at the end, I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but they ended up having the entire field What a scene right there. Look at that. And it got even bigger there with the as the fans continued to storm the field. By the way, what's wrong with the tie? Some of you guys are giving me crap for the tie here. Championship game, thought I'd dress up a little bit and went for the tie. So, yeah, what's wrong with the tie? I don't see a problem with it. So I wanted to dress up a little bit for the championship game. I thought that was okay. Did you guys get your beef trapper beef jerky, by the way? Beef trapper, or what is it? Old Trapper beef jerky. They were all over the all over as a sponsor of this thing. I have another video I want to show you if I can get it queued up here. Did they show it on the broadcast? The backflip by Ashton Genty there when he was able to the final seconds ticked off the clock. Let's see if I can find it here. I think I got it. Ashton Genty, final seconds ticking off the clock somewhere on here. Maybe not. Let's see. Oh, I got it right here. Here we go. There's the Gatorade bath for Coach Danielson. And look at Ashton Genty right here. Why does he never not do that after a touchdown? Ashton Genty backflip to finish off his final game on the blue. And look at these fans rush the field. Absolute madness. I don't know who that guy was, but people were fired up. And it got to the point where the entire field was just full of people. It was insane. It was incredible. By the way, I got a lot of videos like this. If you want to just keep this going, guys, I got nowhere to go. I mean, they're locking us in. I'm paying Jaden by the hour, so if he's willing to stick around a little longer, we can just keep this going for a while. We still got over 400 of you watching on YouTube. If you want to just watch the trophy presentation and guys try to bring down the goalposts and all this good stuff, we can just keep this thing going. I got a ton of footage, a ton of stuff that we can play. I got nowhere to go. Here's Maddox Madsen doing his post-game interview. By the way, this is the Blue and Orange Store post-game show. We appreciate the Blue and Orange Store. We probably haven't thanked an entire sponsor on this 2-hour and 35-minute show. And so all of our great sponsors, please go support them. Our title sponsor, of course, rowpaint.com. All of our major sponsors, whether it be Lithia Ford, Taco Bell, Jackson's, ICCU, the Blue and Orange Store, rowpaint.com. All of our major sponsors. I'm sure I left one out. Please support all of our sponsors, TCS, Transportation Compliance Service as well. So we couldn't do these shows and have all this kind of coverage and could be going 2 hours and 36 minutes without all of our sponsors. So go support the sponsors. I kind of shortchanged them on the mentions and things tonight, but they deserve all the love and we appreciate it and couldn't do this show without them. So it looks like you guys are wanting to keep this thing going. So we can. Jaden, you can take some of yours out because we got a lot in there and it's kind of confusing. I'm going to add another one in here. Let's see what I can find. But again, support the sponsors, folks. Keep all your comments and things coming. Let's see what I got here. This is another. Let's see what we got here. I think we showed some. It was quite the scene down there. I know we may have showed some of this if you guys were there early in the show with Mike Sanford, but they got celebration, Cool in the Gang playing over the loudspeakers, players celebrating. I think I grabbed Zion Washington for a quote here in a second. What a surreal scene, thinking back to last year.
It's great. Amazing feeling. Just look around. That's all you got to do. Look around. Thank God. All glory to God.
How'd you guys pull it off?
Loving each other, playing. You know, we said we was going to give it our all no matter what, and that's what we did. You can see the final score. That's just goes to show how much we love each other. That's what it is.
The defense dominated, man.
Yes, sir.
What did it feel like?
What we've been waiting for all year. We knew that what type of defense we were. We knew what we were going to see, and all we had to do was capitalize on it. We did.
You're going to the playoff, man. How's it feel?
It's amazing. We dreamed of this as kids. This is the best moment ever. Look on the screen. That's just crazy. It's crazy.
Congrats, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Again, soak this in, Bronco Nation. Congratulations to you guys, fans. We are the champions playing on the loudspeaker. I mean, who would have ever thought something like this could happen? And there were people pushing me. I was doing my best to stay out of the way, so I apologize for the video's a little shaky here, but did the best I could to get you guys these clips here and this footage. But soak this in. Congratulations. A lot of you guys have been fans. You know, I've lived here for 12 years, and I've tried to immerse myself and learn the history of this program and learn about everything that's going on. But you guys that have been fans of this program from day one, from the junior college days all the way back, to think about what you guys have endured and all the undefeated seasons and never getting a chance, and all the ways, all the years where you guys just wanted a chance at the table. The fact that you as fans now get to enjoy it for 3-4 weeks. You get to kick your feet up on Sunday and watch the bracket come out. No suspense in terms of getting in the tournament. And then you get to go play on New Year's Eve, likely in the Fiesta Bowl. It's I can't imagine what you're going through right now. I mean, I think about watching my St. Louis Blues win the Stanley Cup, seeing the Cardinals win the World Series, but I just cannot imagine what you guys are going through right now. And just the excitement level. We're going on almost 3 hours for this show, and we still got 4,000 of you wanting to hang out and talk and party about this. And you guys deserve every second of it. All the money, all the blood, the sweat, the tears, the rough years. The last couple of years, your coach getting fired in the middle of the season, Andy Avalos last year, all that turmoil there, turning things around. What Boise State was able to do, bringing in Jeremiah Dickey a couple of years ago. All the things they've done. Again, this was a junior college program. Didn't get to Division I until 1996. All the things that they've been able to accomplish.
I was Bat Boy one time when they were junior college.
There you go. A guy just walked by saying he was the Bat Boy for the baseball team when they were junior college. So here's the trophy presentation. Allison Williams, this was live on Fox. I can't wait to go home, by the way. I don't know. I cannot wait to go home and watch the pregame show and then watch the whole game. I may be up till 4 or 5 in the morning tonight because I got a story still to write. Look at Jeremiah Dickey. Look how happy he is. Again, soak this in, guys. You deserve this. I can't imagine what it's like for your team. Boise State has always been the program that's really, wanted a seat at the table. Has worked so hard for this opportunity and to get into the college football playoff, to get a seed. There's Spencer Danielson with his wife, Rachel. Look at that moment. There's Dr. Trump. There's Gloria Navarez, the commissioner of the Mountain West. And here's Spencer Danielson. Enjoy this, folks. There he is, Ashton Genty, holding up the trophy. Appreciate all you guys telling us to like and subscribe. And yeah, $50. We'd love to have you. BNN 50 deal gets you $50 for your first year at Bronco Nation News. We have some expenses. I kind of let the cat out of the bag, but yeah, Bronco Nation News. Of course we are, right? We're going to pony the bill, and it's not cheap. It's a couple $1,000s, but Bronco Nation News is going to New York next week for the Heisman Trophy ceremony. We will have full coverage of Ashton Genty next week from New York. I wasn't missing this, and whether he finishes second, first, third, fifth, doesn't matter. It's a historic day, and it's going to be an historic weekend, and Bronco Nation News wouldn't miss this. So would I rather have a week off? Has it been a tough, several months of traveling and going down to the Cayman Islands and coming back, and this game and basketball game tomorrow and watch party Sunday? Would I love a weekend off? Of course I would, but not going to be the case. I'm going to fly all the way to New York, and I believe Jay Tusk, KTVB, is going as well. So the two of us are going to go over there and have full coverage of Ashton Genty at the Heisman Trophy. So if you can help us out, $50 BNN 50 deal for a subscription, we'd love to have it, and we'll have full coverage for the next month as Boise State gets ready for the bowl game or the next round of the college football playoff of Ashton Genty at the Heisman Trophy, and we're going to be covering this team the best we can. We do have a couple clips here of the touchdowns. Let's go to the 75-yarder for Ashton Genty, 75-yard touchdown. I thought he was going to go with the Heisman pose. He gets his 75-yarder. He didn't do it. I thought he might have the Heisman pose. Had a little dance instead. But Ashton Genty, what can you say? His game tonight, just incredible. 75-yarder for Ashton Genty, 32 carries, 209 yards, and a touchdown. I'm not sure on the post-game show what all they said about Genty in terms of the Heisman, but I think this race might have got a little interesting. How about Maddox Madsen right there? What a throw that was. Unbelievable throw to Latrell Caples early in the game. Gave Boise State the nice lead early in the game. That was a tremendous throw from Maddox Madsen. A big-time throw there. And then, down there by the goal line, sees the opening, takes off. Mad Dog gets into the end zone there. Another touchdown for Boise State. And the Broncos up 21-0 at the half. Didn't score in the second half, but they were able to hang on. And I know the guys talked about it, but the defensive effort tonight and what you saw from, first of all, Shea Oladipo is my vote defensive player of the game. 10 tackles, had two tackles for loss, a forced fumble, and that was the play of the game, I thought. The 86-yard run, guy could have easily scored a touchdown. Shea comes and chases him down, and then they end up getting him and stopped on 4th and goal, and Boise State gets the ball back. So I thought that was a huge play, huge momentum change in this game was Boise State being able to stop them near the goal line, not let them score, and be able to do what they did in terms of getting the ball back and keeping them off the scoreboard at that point. I do have a short interview with Ahmed Hassanin. Somebody asked about his lip. I don't actually know what happened. I don't know if you guys, if they mentioned on the broadcast or if you saw him get hurt. I don't know what happened with Ahmed Hassanin, but I don't have the doink. I know you guys are wanting the missed field goal. We don't have that, sorry. But, yeah, the missed field goal, that was great. 48-yarder, hit it, bounced short. But I don't know exactly, what the injury was with Ahmed Hassanin, but I did get a chance to get 1 minute with him, and I'm going to see if I can pull that in here and play this. There was a lot of chaos on the field and things going on. Let's see if we got Ahmed Hassanin real quickly. Got a chance to catch up with him briefly after the game.
It was amazing, man. I'm so blessed and so grateful. I went out as a champion, man. I'm proud of this team. I'm proud of my coach, Coach Fraser, man. He puts a lot of work in me. I'm proud of this team. Yeah, man, I was gonna leave it all out there. The defense, to dominate like this on defense, man, how'd that feel? It feels amazing. Everybody doing their job, everybody doing their 111, just filling our gaps, trusting each other, and just responding from adversity, man, and just coming back, play after play after play, having the next play mentality, and just going through and just not having the positive mindset that we're gonna dominate up front. Your last game on the blue, to have it end like this, man, what's the feeling like? It means the world to me. There's no better ending I would have thought, man. I'm so blessed and so grateful to be a part of this. I'm really blessed and I'm really thankful.
Has it hit you yet? You're going to the playoff?
Man, I'm blessed. I'm just trying to stay in the moment right now. I'm just won another championship. Boise State never done this before. Won back-to-back championship. I'm just really proud to be a part of this team. And then next week, whoever we play, let's get it.
Congrats, man. There he is, Ahmed Hassanin, and I mean, that's the part that really hasn't sunk in yet for me. Like, you're going to see the bracket on Sunday, and there's going to be two teams playing to earn the right to play Boise State. Like, I don't see any way the Big 12 can pass Boise State. If they were already where they were, Boise State's going to get a bye, and you're going to see now if it's a 3 or 4 based on what happens tomorrow with Clemson, but you're going to have two teams battling it out with the winner getting to play Boise State in the Fiesta Bowl likely. So it's pretty incredible. And you give Ashton Genty 3 weeks off. You give this offensive line a little more time to heal. Alexander Tubner, give his knee 3 more weeks to heal. Like, look out. I mean, this team 3-0 in the Fiesta Bowl all time. They're going to be wearing the Fiesta Bowl uniforms, right? They got to, I would assume. But to get all these guys healthy, to get 3 weeks off, to make the other team play a game, I'm sure there'll be a lot of talk. Does Boise State deserve the bye and all this stuff? But you know what? Who cares? Boise State did get the bye, and they are going to have a chance on New Year's Eve in the Fiesta Bowl. Most likely. I'm still trying to figure out. I appreciate the comments there, Devo Bronk, and some of you guys saying you appreciate the coverage. I appreciate that. Again, subscribe if you can. BNN 50 deal for $50. Mike Prater's going to have a column Sunday. By the way, Sunday we are going to have a live show. Mike Prater, John Mallory, and I, Jaden Finch, will be in the press box at Albertsons Stadium. And as soon as they announce where Boise State and what the bracket looks like, and once we talk to Spencer and a couple players, we're going to jump on and do a live emergency broadcast on Sunday. So get ready on Sunday after they announce it, like 30 minutes, an hour later, from the press box. We will have a full broadcast for you guys in terms of what who they're playing or what the bye is or the whole situation, the bracket. Johnny and Prater and I will break it down live about 30 minutes after it's over on Bronco Nation News, on YouTube, on Facebook, on X. People are asking about, I don't have any UNLV interviews. I don't know if they posted those anywhere, if we can get those, but I don't have any UNLV interviews. I apologize for that. There was a lot going on. And Pedro says, BNN #1. BJ, you're the man. Appreciate you, Pedro. That was nice of you to say. We're having a lot of fun here. I mean, you guys, we're on the air for almost 3 hours here, and it's not because all of us have been talking. It's because of your comments and your interest and your support of what we're doing here at Bronco Nation News. We couldn't do it without you guys. And started this thing about 3 years ago, just hit the 3-year anniversary. Crazy to think where we're at right now. And to see the interest that's continued to grow, it's been awesome. And like I said, heading to New York for the Heisman next week. We got basketball coverage tomorrow. We got the playoff coming up next week or in a couple weeks. We got the show on Sunday. I mean, we're not slowing down. So appreciate you guys. It's been a lot of fun, and we're going to get all the interviews. I don't know what happened with the players. Do you guys want to try again with the players, or we can just put that up on the YouTube channel, I guess. We're approaching 3 hours here, and it's 12:20 in the morning. We had a couple voicemails. Were you able to get those in by chance? We'll keep it going for a minute if I feel bad making Jaden stay, but we did have like 3 voicemails that came in today. We'll go ahead and get those in and play those. Make sure you listen to them first, Jaden. But we did have a couple voicemails. Folks excited about this one. We'll get those into the system here in just a second. And what a night. What a night. Again, congratulations to all of you. It's pretty cool. And, I've made this known. You guys give me crap for it. Like, I'm not a, quote, Boise State fan. Does it help my business when Boise State wins? Sure. But am I emotionally attached to Boise State like you guys are? No, I'm not. I went to Kansas. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I'd never been to Idaho before I took this job. Like, I don't root against Boise State. I want you guys to win. I want the team to do well. It's Spencer's in a better mood. Leon's in a better mood. Like, yeah, when the team wins, everybody does great. I mean, but I'm not emotionally invested to the extent that a lot of you guys are. And so I just can only imagine what you guys are feeling right now, and the pride you must have, and what the next 36 hours are going to be like, waiting for that bracket to come out and seeing a 12-team playoff in a bracket with Boise State not only in the field, but in the field at a point where they're going to have a chance to potentially get a bye and move on to the next round of the playoff. It's just it's incredible. You guys deserve it. It's pretty cool. And the whole reason we even have Bronco Nation News, the whole reason we have people that are still, up here at 12:20 in the morning is because of you guys. I mean, the fact that we're live for our third hour of the show here is because of what you guys have done and the interest and the excitement that you guys have for Bronco Nation News. So it's been an awesome ride. We're going to keep this thing going for at least 4 more weeks until that Fiesta Bowl or whatever bowl game they get sent to. And I'm not going to say I have no attachment. Somebody said, how do you not have any attachment? I just said the coaches are in a better mood. Everybody's in a better mood. Like, you guys are in a better mood. Like, if we'd have lost this game tonight, we wouldn't have had you guys still on here at 12:20 watching this. So, but I don't have the blood, sweat, and tears that you guys have had for years of being a Boise State fan. So it's just a different feeling for me. But from a business perspective, heck yeah, it's awesome when Boise State wins, and to be able to shake Spencer's hand after the game and tell him congrats, like, yeah, that's it's awesome. It's great. So I'm happy they won, but I'm mostly happy they won for you guys. The whole reason we do the show is for all you guys, and it's pretty cool the way it worked out. Do we have any voicemails in there yet? We have 2 voicemails in there. Signature Roofing at mysignatureroofing.com. You can check them out, mysignatureroofing.com. Re-roofs, repairs, inspections, and anyone that left a post-game voicemail gets thrown in. It's possibly win a $100 gift card to the Blue and Orange store. So let's see if this works. We're going to start things off and hear from Cody. What do you got for us, Cody?
First off, go Broncos. Look what happens when the DBs actually turn around and play the ball. Can't wait for the CFP. Go Broncos.
Short and sweet there from Cody. Look what happens when the DBs actually turn around. I thought they played pretty well tonight. I mean, now let's see what the final stats were. Ricky White only finished with 4 catches for 21 yards. Ricky White tonight, the supposedly All-American, great receiver, who is a great receiver, already 1,000 yards. He had 4 catches for 21 yards tonight. As a team, UNLV only passed for 110 yards. Haj Malik Williams was 13 of 28, and he only passed for 110 yards, no touchdowns, had the interception, 40% completion percentage, 46, and was 72 QB rating. He did rush 21 times for 56 yards, though, counting those sacks. So the passing attack really wasn't there. And I know they got 90. James Rush and Burrell had a couple, but James had 86 on that one play. So really, Boise State did a great job shutting down their offense. A couple big stops, and I agree with you there, Cody. The DBs, I thought, played well. And certainly that was a big factor in the game. Let's hear from Jesse. Jesse, you're next, man.
Hey, BJ. It's Jesse again here. Wow, that was a crazy, crazy game. I thought UNLV was going to start coming back. But I got to give shout-outs to Oladipo, man. Oladipo's probably just saved our chances of going to the playoffs with his tackle. That was the game-changing moment right there. Him making that tackle keeps UNLV out of the end zone and keeps Boise State winning this game. To be honest with you, I think that was a whole game changer, and we got to give our hats off to Oladipo. My next thing would be for Ashton Jeanty. Holy cow, he is just too good. I was just looking at Twitter and looking at all the things that people are saying about him. There's Heisman Trophy winners on there saying, oh, wow, I am definitely rethinking my vote now. So I think him being broadcasted on this championship game definitely turned some heads. And we just put 200 yards up against one of the best rushing defenses in the country. So, yeah. I am feeling it for sure. I bet everybody else in Boise State is feeling it too. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. And hey, BJ.
Jesse, thanks for the call there, man, on the voicemail line. Thanks to Signature Roofing. And I heard, I guess, on the broadcast, and again, I'm going to go home tonight and watch this game. I'm going to be up till the sun comes up, probably writing my story and rewatching the pregame, the game, the postgame. I guess at some point, Brock Heward made a comment that if you vote for the Heisman before these games, that you should lose your vote. And I mean, yeah, if these games count, why would you vote before you see what happens here? So we'll see how many of the voters voted for the Heisman too early or before, this weekend's games. But why would you not wait and see what Ashton Jeanty did tonight? I hate to say it. I don't think it's going to be enough. I just think there's too much social media buzz, but it certainly didn't hurt to have the Fox Big Noon guys here doing the Heisman pose and all that. Again, can't wait to hear what they say on the postgame show. But for him to get over 200 yards, get in the end zone, get Boise State to the playoff, he certainly did all he could at this point to get as close as he could. And he would have won the Heisman probably 97 times out of 100. Just ran into a crazy scenario with what Travis Hunter's doing on both sides of the ball and the hype and the talk that he's getting and all that stuff. So amazing, phenomenal year for Ashton Jeanty. And if he finishes second, that's still an amazing accomplishment and pretty darn cool for Boise State to have someone finish second. But now, Boise State fans, I mean, you get to go to the basketball game tomorrow, and we need some more people. Like, there's a lot of empty tickets, there's a lot of open seats there, and those tickets are fairly affordable. Washington State's a good team. Like, come party down at ICCU Arena downtown, Idaho Central Arena. Like, maybe you weren't planning on going. You don't need to watch the SEC game. Come down, party, come watch the basketball game, and get the basketball team a big win. I saw Mike Prater say maybe this is the biggest 4-game stretch in the history of Boise State athletics. You win tonight, you got basketball tomorrow, the CFP announcement on Sunday, and then Monday, Ashton Jeanty finds out that he's a Heisman finalist. By the way, Jaden, we can go ahead and play the Jaden has the doink. You guys wanted the doink. We found it somewhere in the system here. We do have a version of the missed field goal right here for you. All right, we'll get it in here in a second. Not sure what happened there, but the missed field goal was big because I would have made it 7-3, I believe, at that point. But here we go. And I don't know about you guys, but when it hit the post, well, at least in my angle, you couldn't tell if it was going in or back. So when you waited and then you watched it fall in front, you're kind of like, oh wow, okay, that fell short. That fell short. So that was a big play in the game as well. I mentioned Oladipo. I thought he was a big game. I know these guys went over the numbers, but Maddox Madsen, 18 of 27, only passed for 158 yards, but there were a couple of key drops in there early in the game. Prince Strawn had a drop. There was another drop, I believe, in there as well. But he, almost had a couple interceptions. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There were a couple passes that Maddox Madsen had that were almost picked off. There were 2 plays in a row, one where the DB just flat out dropped the ball. But overall, it was a situation where, Boise State certainly, got enough from the passing attack from Maddox Madsen, made some big throws on third down when they had to. And again, Ashton Jeanty, nobody else got a carry tonight, by the way. Ashton Jeanty got 32 carries. Maddox Madsen got his 3 carries, but no Breezy Dubar. Nobody else got any carries tonight. No Dylan Riley, no Tyler Crow. It was Ashton Jeanty's show tonight. So Matt Lauder, 5 catches for 62 yards. Cam Camper, 4 for 26. Latrell Caples had 2 for 37. Prince Strawn, 2 for 18. And then Ashton Jeanty did have 2 catches for 14 yards. But overall, Boise State, 373 yards of offense. UNLV at 327. But Boise State only 1 penalty tonight. 5 penalties for UNLV, and Boise State 1 of 1 on 4th down. Boise State holding UNLV to 5 of 16 on 3rd down. They were playing Mo Bamba a good amount tonight. The crowd was getting into it. It was a lot of fun, and just a great night. An awesome night for Boise State. And again, you get to kick your feet up now and see what happens in the college football playoff moving forward. We've hit the 3-hour mark, so I think I'm going to go ahead and shut this thing down. I know you guys could probably keep this going forever, but it's 12:30, and me and Jaden have been on campus since like 1. And so I've still got a story to write. I've still got some other stuff to do, and the James is trying to kick us out here. So we appreciate all you guys for checking us out. Again, subscribe if you can. BNN 50 deals, that promo code. You get $50 for a year at BroncoNationNews.com. And you'll have Heisman coverage, you'll have playoff coverage, all kinds of stuff. We'll have, again, a live show on Sunday. We'll be live tomorrow first. We'll have pregame, 1 o'clock tomorrow, pregame at 1 o'clock tomorrow from Idaho Central Arena for the basketball game. We'll have pregame, postgame, and again, go buy your tickets. Come on down, watch the basketball game against Washington State. Big game tomorrow. And then Sunday, we'll have a show after the selection show with Prater and Johnny as well. So, again, 3+ hours. Jaden Finch, get over here, man. Give this guy, Boise State student, give this guy some love, man. He does a tremendous job. Appreciate you, man. He came over here after the show and set all this stuff up, and he's going to help me take it all down. And Jaden does a tremendous job for not very much money. So we appreciate him, and we appreciate everybody else. And, yeah, enjoy the tie. It's a blue and pink tie. I don't know what the big deal is about the tie. I might not, guess what? I'll probably be wearing a tie for the Fiesta Bowl too. So maybe I'll switch it up though. But appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Again, if you can subscribe, we'd love to have you. BNN 50 deal. When you wake up tomorrow, we'll have all the interviews on YouTube. We'll have all the highlights on YouTube, all the post-game celebration on YouTube, and I'll have a full story at BroncoNationNews.com that you can read as well. So the night is not ending for Bronco Nation News. We got several hours of work and coverage to get to. We're going to get all this up online for you guys. And then, as I said, I'll see you live at 1 o'clock for the basketball game against Washington State tomorrow. And then we'll be done in time, hopefully, to get home for that Clemson SMU game to see what's going on there with the bye and all that. And then Sunday morning will be fun as well. So, again, appreciate you guys. I did a bad job thanking the sponsors tonight. Thanks to Kent, to Brad. I'm hoping they were, I cringe a little thinking I got to go back and watch that and hope that they were behaving themselves tonight. And I apologize if there was any language or anything, but Mike Sanford did a great job and those guys, and it was a fun 3-hour plus post game. I think we set a record here, 3 hours live on the show. So for those of you that made it all 3 hours, thank you. If you didn't, you can go back and watch some of the stuff that you missed. And man, what a fun night. Going to be a fun couple days. Again, congratulations, guys. Enjoy it. You deserve it. And we'll talk to you at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Again, the final score, Boise State, Mountain West champions, earning a bid to the college football playoff with a 21-7 win over UNLV. A historic night, but more history still to come. So appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your evening. And we'll see you at Idaho Central Arena tomorrow for basketball. We'll see you Sunday for the CFP selection announcement. Go subscribe if you can. Tell your friends. Like us on YouTube, Facebook, X, all that good stuff. And again, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow from basketball. Boise State, Fiesta Bowl bound. Probably so after winning the Mountain West. Cool night. Congratulations again, folks, and we'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com.